chilly celebration for Packer fans. Green Bay almost unbeatable in the Brett Favre era at home in the cold. Today, red-hot Denver with the NFL's winningest record challenges the Pack. Green Bay looking to repeat as NFC Central champions. A week ago, this was a preview of Super Bowl 31, a matchup of quarterbacks Elway and Favre, two of the favorites for this year's MVP, but Elway won't play today because of his hamstring. Today does match Mike against Mike, Holmgren against Shanahan, two coaches produced and influenced by the 49er machine. Shanahan, however, without Elway, will try to prove to the rest of the NFL that 12-1 Denver is more than John Elway. Bill Musgrave makes his first ever NFL start at quarterback for the Broncos. Hello, everyone.
Like having another coach out there.
Sure. You know, I was surprised. I watched Elway run off the field. He looked pretty spry to me.
Are you saying that maybe he could have played?
I think so.
I think he could have played had he had to. I think the thing that bothers me most about this is that, you know, Philadelphia, Washington, Dallas, Carolina, and San Francisco need the Denver Broncos to play at their best. Here's the kickoff. And a high floater that Hebron's going to take at the 7-yard line. Goes to the left side, up the left side, got a little hole through to the 25 and out to about the 28 or 29-yard line. I think Jeff Thomason got the first hand on him and then some help later on upfield, and they knock him down just short of the 30. It'll be at the 29-yard line. So Bill Musgrave, 6'3", 215 pounds, in his 6th year out of Oregon, has thrown 13 passes this season. His tight end is Shannon Sharp. His wide receivers, Anthony Miller and Ed McCaffrey. They are good wide receivers, and his running back, Terrell Davis, has rushed for 1,383 yards this season, and his fullback is Aaron Craver, who is the blocking back. So let's have a good time and enjoy today's game. The deep man is Davis. Here is Musgrave. Musgrave, the deep pitch goes to Davis. He got around one man, gets to the corner, and gets up to about the 30-yard line, and is knocked backwards from that point. Doug Evans, the second man to hit him. I believe George Kuntz was the first man in to make the hit.
Sean Jones getting great penetration off Jamie Brown, the Broncos starting left tackle, getting his first start today because of the injury to Gary Zimmerman. Jones winning that battle first time out of the shoot.
You know, I'm told they're going to probably have a couple of tight ends in a lot for Denver today, trying to help Jamie Brown at that left tackle position while Zimmerman gets well.
I'll tell you, Shannon Sharp is the best in that AFC, believe me.
Second down, and let's call it 10. No gain on the first rush by Davis. Here comes a blitz by Newsom, and Davis takes the handoff and goes to the 35-yard line, and Butler and Wayne Simmons make the tackle. They blitzed from the left corner, leaving a man wide open over here on the right side.
Well, I saw the safety sneaking over there, Jim, because I saw the same thing you did. Yeah, that's the way they do it when they blitz. They have to put the safety man to come over and cover that guy.
But it also tells you, Larry, what they do. You may expect them to throw it, but they ran the football with Davis.
Oh, when you got the league's leading rusher, why not?
They're down 4 yards to go for the Denver Broncos. Very cautious so far.
I bet they throw it this time.
Single running back. No, they're not going to have any running backs. Out of the shotgun goes Musgrave, and on the quarterback draw, Musgrave has the first down to the 42-yard line. Musgrave on a quarterback draw. Santana Dotson had a shot at him, but he flew past him, and he gets the first down.
The Packers' adjustment to the Bronco receiving formation, where they got nothing but wide receivers out there, 4 linemen, 7 defensive backs, no linebackers.
So that was really one of those scripted plays, I'll bet they had just for that situation.
Absolutely not. I think that was a brilliant call, Jim, because in the situation here, Musgrave can run, and as Larry said, he was wide open. There was
no linebackers.
First down at the 42-yard line. And in motion to the outside comes Davis this time, and the pitch goes back to Craver. Craver turns the corner, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Loose ball. Who got it? The Packers say it's theirs. The officials say it is the Packers' ball as well. The ball was lost on the corner over there, and I don't know who came up with it, but the Packers have the ball at the 41.
The Broncos had Shannon Sharp blocking on Sean Jones. Shannon Sharp's a receiver, not a blocker, that showed on that play right there.
So the Packers, and that may be Sean Jones who came up with the ball.
Sean Jones did, Jim. He's got a heck of a start today, and that's the big break the Packers needed.
Well, here comes the tough Denver defensive team now. Dan Williams and Alfred Williams at the corners. Mike Lodish and Michael Dean Perry at the tackle. So you got to give some protection to quarterback Brett Favre. Antonio Freeman splits to the left. Andre Rison to the right, and Shimura is a slot on the right side. Here is Brett Favre dancing around behind the line of scrimmage, rolls to the right, fakes, now throws the ball long, downfield, and threw it away. Andre Rison had beaten his man, but it was too late, and the ball floated off to the right, out of bounds.
Yeah,
and Brett didn't find anybody quickly enough.
No, he didn't have time to get that ball to Rison, Jim. I think he just wanted to avoid an interception, because if he'd have thrown it in the field of play, I think it would have been intercepted.
And I think actually Rison probably came free after the ball was released.
He actually had oodles of time for the Packers called play. Unfortunately, nobody got open.
Second down and 10 at the 41-yard line, and that quiets the crowd that had been fired up. So Brett has a second down. 31 touchdown passes, 10 interceptions thrown by Brett Favre this season. Freeman to the left, and Rison to the right out of an I formation this time, with Chimura, the tight end, off to the right. Now they split it into a pro set on second down and 10. Here's Brett, play action fake. Looks, comes up over the middle, and threw it behind Chimura. Actually, Chimura was wide open, but the ball was about a yard behind him.
Yeah, Brett's looking at it. He's back. There's something wrong with his helmet there today, but he made a very bad pass there because Chimura was wide open.
Part of the problem might have been Jumpy Gathers walking Adam Timmerman right into Brett's lap. Jumpy Gathers is a one heck of a bull rusher.
He is 6'7", 300 pounds, has 4.5 sacks this year. But listen to this. Alfred Williams has 13. You heard figures like that anywhere?
No, he's the league's leading sacker.
So it is third down and 10. So Brett Favre has missed 2 passes here to start this ball game for the Packers, with a great opportunity at the 41. Here's Brett on the draw play. Gets it to the outside. Dorsey Levens. He's got 5. He's got 10. He's got 12. To the first down of the 27 or 8-yard line of the Denver Broncos. And how about that toy?
Dorsey Levens coming off of last week, Jim, where he averaged about 12 yards a carry. He gets 12 on the first carry.
Alfred Williams, the big sacker we were talking about, lined up across from Earl Dotson. The Packers take advantage because Williams, a big upfield rusher, ran right inside.
Same thing as the quarterback draw almost, wasn't it?
Worked the same way, but I tell you, this when he gets loose in that backfield back there, there's not a lot of guys can tackle.
First down at the 28-yard line for the Green Bay Packers. As they come to the line of scrimmage, it's the 28 of the Denver Broncos. No score in the game. Packers with the first opportunity on the turnover by the Broncos. Here's Brett, 2 wide receivers. Chimura is in motion to the left, and Brett on the handoff to Edgar Bennett, trying to slide outside. Nothing there. He's going to be thrown at the 29-yard line. They had the left corner just totally sealed. He looked outside, Larry, but nobody was able to get a seal block out there, and he had to come up inside.
You know, actually, I think the play was called to go inside Earl Dotson, but Earl couldn't get his guy sealed, couldn't get him driven out either, so Edgar's in a position where he can get nothing.
That was an ugly play because the timing in the backfield, he was right up on top of his blockers. You know, you never get anything like that. You got to give him time to make a block.
So it is going to be second down and 10. The Packers have actually failed on 3 of the 4 plays that they've run, but they got a first down out of it. So let's keep the percentage a little higher and see what happens here. Second down and 10. Here's Brett in the handoff up the middle. There's Edgar Bennett.
Oh, he's gone.
To the 20, to the 15, to the 10, got a flag through first. Apparently somebody moved on the part of the Packers before the play got underway, and it will bring everything back. Let's listen to Gary Lane. Let's see. We're going to check on this near side. It is a delay of game.
Oh. False start. Offense. Number 86. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
False start on Antonio Freeman, so it'll be a first down and 15. Well, drivers wanted at your local Volkswagen dealers. Wisconsin Volkswagen dealers. Come in and test drive the Jetta GL at any one of our conveniently located dealerships. Call 1-800-DRIVE-EW for a dealer nearest you. The reason that was so wide open, everybody kind of gave up after the whistle that we couldn't hear.
I hope that was I wish that was.
Otherwise, run that play again.
Yeah, run it again.
First down and 15, this time back at the 34-yard line for the Green Bay Packers. Bennett is in motion to the outside. Here's Brett Favre. Good protection. Now it breaks down a little bit. Hit as he threw it over. Intercepted. Atwater. Steve Atwater in the backfield brings it down, but there is a flag on the play. Atwater is down at the 24-yard line. Let's check and see what the flag is all about. Holding against the Denver Broncos would be an automatic first down for the Packers.
Yeah, they were holding Andre Rison, I believe, Jim. He's the one that was complaining a lot. But that's a real big play for the Pack.
Well, Max, he was the intended receiver on the play.
Brett Favre was under heavy pressure, just barely got the ball off. That's why it was intercepted.
Defense, number 27.
It is Atwater who made the interception, also did the holding. So it'll be an automatic first down to the 29-yard line.
That pressure you mentioned, once again, Jumpy Gathers walking Adam Timmerman back. Jumpy Gathers is a load and a half.
They say he's been one of the major reasons, Larry, for their success this season.
He was the guy that bull rushed Aaron Taylor's patellar tendon out of its socket last year against Atlanta.
So it is going to be a first down at the 29-yard line for the Packers. They hurry to the line of scrimmage. Still got plenty of time on the clock. Brett Favre adjusts his strap on his helmet and goes on the draw play to Levens. Levens tries to get to the outside, gets the corner to the 25, upfield and out of bounds. It appears, well, they're going to mark him out at the 20-yard line. Well, I don't think that was a very good mark. Looked like he got that foot back in and got the first down, but he got about 9 yards on the play, down to the 20, and Dorsey's having success getting outside.
No doubt about it, Jim. Looks quick today, and, of course, as I said earlier, he is strong once he's loose in that backfield.
If Aaron Taylor can finish up his block on Romanowski, boy, I'll tell you what, we might have a touchdown right there.
Bill Romanowski is the right side linebacker for the Denver Broncos, and he is a very good linebacker. So it's going to be a second down and about 2 yards to go. The handoff to Edgar Bennett hit in the backfield and dropped immediately by Michael Dean Terry of the Denver Broncos to bring up a third down and short yardage to go for the Packers. Third down coming. And the Packers try to get this ball into the end zone, and it's really interesting that they are having some success on some plays, and other plays the Denver defense is having the lead, and that's what you expected in this ballgame.
It may be a little guessing by both sides. Maybe that's the reason.
Well, third down and about 3.5, 4 yards. This is a big play for the Packers right here. The ball resting inside the 25 at about the 23.5-yard line. In motion to the outside goes Edgar Bennett. Short drop and a quick pattern over the middle to Chimera. First down at the 14-yard line. What a throw by Brett Favre. A defender on the left and the right of Chimera, and he put the ball right in between the two.
Yeah, he loves that Chimera. It's great to have him back because he loves that pass right there, Jim. As you said, threw it right into two defenders, and Chimera came up with it.
Chimera really good at finding the hole in the zone, that little seam area, and Brett with the kind of arm that can get it there right now.
I don't know whether that was a full-fledged hole or not, but it was a crease. About what
Better
it was.
put, yeah, crease.
First down at the 13-yard line of the Denver Broncos by the Packers. Here's Brett. Short drop, a little floating pass off to the left behind Keith Jackson this time. Keith turned around a little late. John Mobley was on the coverage, and Keith unable to catch the ball. Actually hit him on the left shoulder pad as he tried to turn around.
And he was going nowhere if he caught it, Jim.
You're right.
Mobley, or I believe it was Mobley, already had measured him and was about to cut him.
The rookie John Mobley out of Kutztown State. Journal Sentinel sports writers Bob McGee and Tom Silverstein bring you hard-hitting Packers coverage all season long. Second down and 10 at the 13-yard line of the Denver Broncos. Risen goes wide right. Antonio Freeman is a slot on the right, and Don Beebe is to the left for the Packers on second down. Second and 10, and Brett dropped the ball and has to fall on it at the 14-yard line. He came out too quickly. He fumbled the ball, and he fell on top of it at the 14-yard line, where it becomes a third down. A little anxious that time to get out and get set up, and he came out before the ball actually had been snapped.
Jim, you're one of the few announcers that didn't blame the center.
I don't think it was the center's fault at all. I just think the quarterback had other things on his mind.
Everybody always assumes it's the center, though. He makes less money.
Well, let's reconsider. You think it was the center? I think it probably was.
It's always the center.
The head coach generally blames it on the center, I can assure you.
Here we go. Third down and 11 for the Packers. Need a big play right here. Split the two running backs, two wide receivers. Here's Brett straight back in the pocket. Here they come. They set up a screen to the left. Levens tackled from behind. Great play by the Denver Broncos' Alfred Williams, who brings him down at the 15-yard line. I'm not sure the screen was going to get to first down, but Williams played it beautifully.
Well, Denver defense tightened up and forced the Packers to go for a field goal. And we have lost a player, Jim. Mulligan twisted a knee. He's out for the game.
Roderick Mullen on the special teams is out for the ball game. Here comes Chris Jackie, 17 out of 23 this season. This will be a 33-yarder, and it is a wind that can affect any kick today. Keep that in mind. So a 33-yard kick.
Not an easy kick with this wind.
No, and with this turf. Here is the kick on the way by Chris Jackie, and it floats through the middle, and the Packers take a 3-0 lead.
All right.
And a timeout back after this. This is the Packer Radio Network. And Max, you and I had known this gentleman for such a long time, Dr. Gordon Micklejohn, who passed away on the 6th of December a couple of days ago. A wonderful friend of all of us who was so involved with the Hall of Fame golf tournament. And we send our condolences to the Micklejohn family. He was just a terrific guy. I'm sure you knew him as well, Larry.
Doc Micklejohn, you betcha.
Yeah, everybody thought he was such a terrific guy. So we're very sorry about that, and you have our sympathies. Hebron is the deep receiver. Here is the kickoff. by Chris Jackie. This is a spinner, a line drive that bounces, taken up short by the Denver Broncos. That appears to be a wide receiver that caught it, comes out to the 31 for Denver on the return. It was Ryan Chamberlain, the tight end, who brought it back for Denver, and they get decent field position. We'll take a break out on the field and be back after this from your local station here on the 50%. They make half their third down.
John Elway is a great big playmaker. He always has been. That's right. He's not playing today, but that's why that record is like it is.
Welcome to our booth today to Mark Steinbrück and his wife Mary Steinbrück from Pickens Save down in Delaware and Lake Geneva. Good to have them with us here today. All right, first down for the Denver Broncos, and the ball resting at the 31-yard line in their own territory. 3-0 the Packers. In motion to the inside goes McCaffrey. Back to throw is Musgrave. He swings the ball up to the right. McCaffrey on an in-and-out pattern catches it for a gain of about 5 yards up to the 36-yard line. Ed McCaffrey, 40 catches, 482 yards, and 7 touchdowns this season. Anthony Miller has caught 48 passes, and he has scored 3 touchdowns, but it's Shannon Sharp who has caught 75 passes this year. That's a lot for a tight end.
And he's also scored like 10 touchdowns.
He has.
That's something special.
All right, second down and 5 yards to go for the Denver Broncos at the 36-yard line. You got a wing on the right. That's McCaffrey going in motion to the far left side. Waiting for the snap, and Musgrave straight back in the pocket this time. Comes up over the middle, batted right back in. Santana Dotson got his hands in the air. That ball went backward faster than it went forward.
I'm not sure it didn't hit him right in the face mask the way it came back there, Jim, but a great play by Dotson.
But it takes skill to get your face away, though.
And a quarterback who hasn't seen live action very much has to get used to throwing in the lane. You don't throw over defensive linemen, you throw in between them.
I think he got his hand up there, too, and knocked that baby down. I don't think he used his face at all. He's saving that for
I'll tell you,
bigger game.
Musgrave has a very low delivery, Jim. I can see now why he hasn't been starting all those 6 years.
It is going to be third down and about 5 to go for the Denver Broncos. Man in motion to the near side. Here's Musgrave. Play action fake to the left. Now throws to the right.
Nobody here.
Sharp wide open to the 50, to the 47-yard line. They faked a run left, and Shannon Sharp just came out in the right flat, and there wasn't anybody within 10 yards of him.
Musgrave could have ran the same distance because there was just nobody. They really fooled somebody.
That's a breakdown somewhere in coverage right there, because you got to have somebody in the area for sure.
I hear that. I see the defensive coach calling the guys over and say, hey.
That's a play. It's very similar to a goal line play, a Y sneak, a tight end sneak, where he fakes like he's going to block, and people kind of lose him in the wash, and then he goes out and catches a wide open pass.
First down at the 47. Look, this time they send out as a flanker on the left side. That's Davis. Terrell Davis is wide to the left side. They have 2 receivers to the right and a single running back. And Musgrave to throw comes up to the middle, and it is caught and immediately drilled is Rod Smith, their second-year player out of Missouri Southern, who catches only his 10th pass of the year, and it's at the 42-yard line.
You'll see a lot of similarities between what the Broncos do and what the Packers do. That short ball control, West Coast type offense. Of course, Mike Shanahan spending 3 years with San Francisco after Mike Holmgren.
The successor to Mike Holmgren. Today's Packer broadcast proudly sponsored by your local Train Heating and Cooling dealer. Remember, it's hard to stop a train. Gain of about 6 yards, second down and 4 for Denver at the Packer 41-yard line. Split the 2 running backs. Boy, this is a vocal crowd here today. Waiting for the snap is Musgrave, and Musgrave on the handoff to Davis hits the hole, but he ran right into a linebacker and is knocked down at about the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play. Was that Williams or Kuntz?
Kuntz stepped right in behind pulling guard Brian Habib, who did absolutely nothing on the play, and Kuntz went unblocked and made the play.
So it is going to be third down for Denver at the 41-yard line, and they need a total of 5 yards for the first down. Third down and 5 for the Denver Broncos. The Packers leading 3-0 with 5 minutes and 14 seconds to go here in the first quarter of the game. On a beautiful day now, the sun is shining here in Green Bay.
Oh, beware of that quarterback draw again, because it's set up about the same way.
Here is out of the shotgun this time, however, and Musgrave back now fires to the sidelines. It's caught. And a first down at the 30-yard line. The man who made the catch, Anthony Miller, with just an outside little slant pattern around the corner, and he was open.
Boy, and how quick he's getting rid of that ball, Jim. Even though his delivery is kind of a sidearm delivery, he's getting rid of that ball quick, and they're wide open.
And once again, when the Broncos go with their 5-receiver set, the Packers choose to go with no linebackers, 4 defensive linemen, 7 defensive backs. We think we could cover them a little better with 7 guys out there.
Ball's the first down at the 28-yard line of the Packers for Denver. 3-0 ball game, but Denver threatening for the first time. Musgrave has the 2 running backs, Davis and Craver, behind it. Craver is to the right of him. And a long count by Musgrave, and the handoff to Davis. Oh, a big hole on the inside, and he slashes through down inside the 25 to about the 22-yard line and a pickup of almost 6 yards on the play. Just a quick hitter and a good offensive thrust. That was behind Jamie Brown, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, in Denver, they can rush the football. Not only does Terrell Davis average 4.7 a carry, they average 4.7 a carry as a team, whoever carrying the ball.
Davis, 295 carries for 1,383 yards and 11 touchdowns. McCaffrey to the left on a 2nd down and 4. And you have a slot man on the left. Smith is out wide right. I'll make that Davis wide right. And somebody moves. Jamie Brown. I think that was a pass play, don't you, Max?
Yeah, he was setting up for a little pass protection there, Jim. He just set up too quick, which happens a lot.
Well, that'll help. That'll move him back and make it a 2nd down and about 9 yards to go.
Jamie Brown filling in for Gary Zimmerman, who had arthroscopic surgery this week.
On his shoulder, he'll be back for the playoffs, maybe the last game of the regular season. Are you looking for the best drive of the year? Well, do what Brett Favre does. Head to your local Bergstrom dealership and check out their unmatched selection of cars and trucks. Bergstrom, for the love of driving. Well, it makes you a little more predictable, but with Denver, you're never sure. The ball's back to the 27. It makes it a 2nd down and 8 yards to go for the Denver Broncos at 3:55 remaining here in the first quarter of the game. They will send Miller to the left side this time. And McCaffrey wide right. Shannon Sharp is the tight end to the right side for Denver. Musgrave, the quarterback. He's waiting for the snap, goes straight back in the pocket this time, on rhythm up over the middle. It's caught by Miller at the 23-yard line, but he's immediately hit by Doug Evans and Eugene Robinson. They didn't let him move. It'll be 3rd down Denver at about 4. So there was a little hole there, but not much for them to slash through.
You know, we're never going to get pressure on this guy, Jim, because he's going to get rid of the ball quicker than you can get there, and it's working.
It's about a
good.
half-step drop, isn't it?
Yeah, he has delivered that football, and he's got wide-open receivers.
3rd down and about 3.5 yards to go.
And it doesn't take very much time to run those short little routes, as we know.
Mike Sherrard has gone into the lineup. He's off to the left. Davis is in as a running back on 3rd down and short yardage. Here's Musgrave, play action fake to the left. The Packers stay home this time, and it's incomplete. They intended it for Sharp, and this time Reggie White was right where he ought to be. Musgrave looked up, and he was in his face and forced him to throw early.
And not only Reggie, also Leroy Butler jumped on Shannon Sharp and covered him.
And it makes a difference when you got Reggie bearing down on you.
Here is Jason Elam, who has hit 17 of 22 this year. This will be a 40-yarder. His long is 47, so he's trying to tie it up with 2:53 remaining here in the first half of the ball game. Ball will be put down by the punter, and it goes down at the 30. Here's the kick, a line drive, but it is good enough. We're tied at 3-all. Back after this from your network station on the Packer Radio Network.
You can tell it's going to be a rough winter just by the fuzzy coat on the caterpillar. Even the squirrels are gathering more nuts than usual.
Looks like we're in for a long winter. Be ready with a Simplicity snow thrower.
Touchdown, maybe.
Yeah, Elway had probably scrambled once there and made a few yards when they got that rush on him.
Jervis and Travis Jervey and Desmond Howard are the return men for the Packers. Here is the kickoff by Elam. This is a high floater coming up a little short. Howard retreats now to the 4-yard line. They're going to go back to the right side. Howard against one man gets away. Still on his feet to the 20, still on his feet to the 30, and down at about the 31-yard line. Pretty good return. He just needed to clear another man or two, and things would have been all right at that stage. Wasn't able to do so. We're going to get a timeout on the field. It's a 3-3 ball game. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
In the beginning, skiers ruled the slopes. Then slowly roving bands of snowboarders appeared and the great mountain wars began. Clothes, slang, music. They agreed upon nothing. Until now. Introducing the limited edition Golf K2. Fully tricked for winter with a custom roof rack and either a K2 snowboard or K2 skis. With this, they realized that if they could be brothers on the road, they could be brothers on the mountain. Thus, with the Golf K2, the Cold War ended.
Drivers wanted at your local Wisconsin Volkswagen dealers. Call 1-800-DRIVE-EW today for a test drive.
Freshness hotline, what's the problem?
Yeah, I've fallen and I can't reach my beer.
Excuse me?
I've fallen and I can't reach my beer.
Okay, how did this happen?
Well, I just brought home a 6-pack.
Import, domestic?
Import. And I just opened my first one when I took a big whiff, and that's when I tripped over the coffee table.
Oh, so the beer was skunked.
I guess it was, yeah.
Okay, can you tell me how old the beer is?
I don't know. I've told you I've fallen and I can't reach it.
Sir, we can get through this. I'm sending some Budweiser out right away.
Bud?
That's right. We'll have a born-on date on the label. Are you following me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
That will tell you when the beer was bottled so you know it's fresh.
Absolutely. The opposition is 15.4. 15.4 points a game, 276 yards a game, just 80 yards rushing and 196 yards passing. All right, the ball resting at the 30-yard line. First down. We have a tie ball game with 2:38 to go here in the first quarter at 3-3. Andre Rison off to the left for the Packers and Freeman to the right. Neither has caught a pass so far in the ball game. Here's Brett Favre, straight back, short drop. Now he comes up the middle, fires the ball upfield to Keith Jackson at the 36, and immediately drilled on the play at that time by the Denver Broncos. The man who made the hit, Tyrone Braxton, who, by the way, is from Madison. Did you know that?
Yes,
a lot of relatives over in the Madison area. So he had to find some tickets today.
Much like Leroy Butler, a cornerback early in his career, but a good safety. That kind of speed and a willingness to hit makes special safeties.
You were in New York this morning?
Yes, I was.
What were you doing? Just goofing off?
Shopping.
Oh, okay. Good. Well, you got to get it done sometime.
I was thinking I'm going over to swab it on myself. How about you, Jim?
Well, if I can't make it to New York, it'll be fine. Maybe Mequon. Going to be a second down and about 3 yards to go. Man in motion to the outside, Edgar Bennett for the Packers. On second down, Brett's back to throw it. Looks, wants to come to the sidelines and intended it for Antonio Freeman, but the cornerback, Lionel Washington, coming back, got a hand on it. He was trying to put that ball through a little needle there, and that wasn't easy to do.
And that's all the room was there, Jim, because if he throws it longer, it's intercepted. If he throws it shorter, it's intercepted.
And Brett's a little shaken up. He got hit hard on that play.
Late pressure by Mike Lotus, who came around on what's called an end tackle stunt. Him, the second man, looping around. John Michaels didn't come off his guy to pick him up.
By the way, thanks to the Wisconsin cheese folks, the Wisconsin Milk and Marketing Board, who came up to visit us today and brought an inflatable cow, which I gave to Jim Palm.
That's me. That's for...
never mind what it's for.
That's for Maxwell.
All right, it's going to be I gave it to Palm.
I didn't know Jim was into inflatables.
Yeah, if he takes that on the road, boy. Here is a third down and about 3 yards. Back goes Brett. Quick pattern on a slant. It goes to BB, but there was a whistle and a flag before the play.
They must have heard about Jim Palm and the inflatables.
Wait, let's move on. It is an illegal procedure call, and it really helps the Packers because they'll get another shot at it, and this time it'll be a third down and 8 yards to go. That was a quick slant that BB actually had his hands on but was unable to hold on to.
Yeah, I'm sure he heard the whistle before it even got there, Jim. I don't even think he really put his best effort because it wasn't going to count anyway.
So it is going to be third down and 8 yards to go for the Packers. Quality, great selection, the lowest overall prices are the reasons you should make Roundy's Pick and Save your one and only food store. For the best overall value, shop at Roundy's Pick and Save. When it comes to price, they're still talking low. Third and 8. The Packers need a big play here from the 31-yard line. Brett Favre waits, and Denver's offside. Back to throw is Brett. He's got a free play, and he fires the ball long upfield to Rison, incomplete, and well played on the corner by Ray Crockett, a veteran player. But Denver was offsides on the play, and that'll give the Packers a third chance at a third down play. And I think Brett immediately realized, Max, that he had a free play and he was going to go for a big one on it.
That's right, and he threw one that probably shouldn't have thrown if it hadn't been in that situation, but it didn't make any difference.
So it is going to be third down and back to our original mark, which was the 38-yard line. And it will be third down and about 3 for the Packers. 1:43 to go, and Denver is proving very hard to hit a pass on. 3 out of 7.
I tell you, they're close covering these guys. We're going to have to send somebody deep here for long.
No quick patterns are open at the moment. Freeman's in motion to the right. Here's Brett back on a short drop this time. Comes up over the middle. It's caught for a first down and on his feet to the 50. Down to the 47-yard line. Goes the wide receiver, Antonio Freeman. He was the motion man, and he really, again, Larry, looked that ball so beautifully into his hands.
Yes, he did, and it was a beautiful call, designed play by Mike Holmgren. Had BB going wide, Andre Rison going deep. I mean, it's hard to cover them all. It's just a beautifully designed play.
Keeps the ball in the hands of the Packers down at the 48-yard line of the Denver Broncos at a tie ball game at 3-3. Rising to the right, Freeman, who caught 10 last week, has his first one today. In the backfield, Bennett and William Henderson. Here's the handoff to Edgar, trying to sweep it to the right, looks for the corner, gets a little bit of it, then is pushed sideways out of bounds after a gain of only 2 yards. Just not quite getting to the corner. He needs another step to get to that corner to get open.
Well, that time the Broncos came out in a 3-4 defense, and as we know, I mean, that thing's heyday is pursuit by linebackers. Alan Aldridge getting right out there to make the play.
By the way, I just wanted you to know, when I was talking about cheese, there are 300 different varieties of cheese in the state of Wisconsin and 2.1 billion pounds of cheese every year.
Billion?
Wow. That's a lot of cheese.
That's a lot of curds.
Second down and 8 at the 46-yard line.
I feel sorry for them cows.
Second down and 8 at the 46-yard line out of an I formation. Two receivers to the right for the Packers this time. Here's the ride and the handoff to Edgar Bennett. Tries the corner again and nothing there. Knocked down at the 49. Ruled down. The ball came loose after he was ruled down. They had a lot of people over there blocking on that corner, but they had as many defenders as they had blockers.
Plus, I'll tell you, when you get that ball, I don't think you should ever stop when you guys were running with the football, because Edgar stopped and immediately he was drilled.
And that will bring the quarter to an end with the score 3-3. The Packers and the Denver Broncos back with quarter number 2 after this on the Packer Radio Network.
This holiday season, give a gift that recovers your worst fumbles. The 5-gallon wet dry shop vac from True Value. It cleans up heavy dust and dirt in the shop, garage, or car, and it also picks up wet
stores throughout this state of Wisconsin. And this holiday season, give the perfect stocking stuffer. Quick Trip gift certificates. Give the gift of gasoline, available at all your neighborhood Quick Trip stores. Here is Brett Favre on a 3rd and 12, chased out of the pocket, still on his feet, rolling to the right. On the run, fires downfield, and intercepted by Atwater.
Never been
down
thrown.
At the 21-yard line, Brett Favre threw the ball. He had a chance to run a little bit. I don't think he could have run for the first down. So he threw it on the run, and the ball kind of hung up, and Atwater played it and takes the interception from the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, Brett knows better than that, Jim. Very poor play. You don't just throw it up. Just as somebody was going to hit him, he just threw it up for grabs, and the wrong guy grabbed it.
Packers had a blown blocking assignment. That's where the house of cards started falling. Blown blocking assignment. Earl Dotson and Adam Timmerman both blocking the same guy.
It was
ugly.
It was intended for Beebe. Boy, that guy came through on the left side so quick that it just disrupted all
Earl
of the
went
play.
inside, and Adam was inside. Didn't make any sense.
First down at the 20-yard line for the Denver Broncos. By the way, our second quarter Bud Packer payoff contestant, Colleen Shipling from Campbellsport, Wisconsin. Here's Musgrave on the handoff, and a flea flicker back to Musgrave. Wants to throw long. Fires the ball upfield. McCaffrey catches the ball at the 41, gets away from the defender, and is now down at the 48-yard line by Doug Evans. The flea flicker worked. Billy Musgrave paid the price, and down he goes. But it worked, and McCaffrey was open on the right wing.
Yeah, that was his second choice, Jim. The deep guy, both guys, he was covered by two guys, leaving McCaffrey open, and a big play for the Broncos.
Something that really helps that type of play is having a running game that people respect, because then you don't get any rush on the pass.
By the way, in our booth, we talked about the Quick Trip, Quick Score contest. The director of marketing for Quick Trip, Gary Gonzi, and his wife Sue are here. Welcome to the broadcast booth, the both of them. All right, it's going to be first down. Denver at the Packer, at their own 49-yard line. And here's the quick handoff to Davis through a hole for about 4 yards to the 48-yard line, left to right. And the man who made the tackle for the Packers in the middle, waiting for him to get up, is Santana Dotson.
Santana doing a good job just playing off a one-on-one block from Brian Habib.
But you can see why Terrell Davis is a leading rusher. I mean, he gets in that hole as quick as anybody I've seen, and he runs hard. They've got a better football team than I thought. This is a good football team.
What a bargain for a 6th-round draft choice.
Yeah, no kidding.
And remember, Shannon Sharp has only caught one pass so far. He split out to the wide right, second down, and 6 yards to go for Denver at the Packer 48-yard line. A single running back, Musgrave short drop, quick pattern on the slant to Shannon Sharp, first down at the 39-yard line. Right slant. Newsom had the coverage, and not bad coverage, but Musgrave got the ball there on perfect time.
I'll tell you, Musgrave, his motion doesn't look so good, but is he accurate? He is right on target almost every throw.
I kind of look at Musgrave as maybe a poor man's Ty Detmer.
Yeah.
A little underarmed, a little undersized, but really smart and can operate in the system.
And you know what? He's described that way, too. Somebody with a good sense of the ball game. Yeah. And that's what Ty Detmer has.
Well, he goes to the right receiver every time. He finds the open man.
He's got some weapons around him to go to.
We have Craver split off to the left side for Denver. Craver's caught 32 passes so far this season. Here's the handoff to Davis. He comes up the middle this time for a gain of about 3 yards to the Packer 35-yard line. Terrell Davis, so far in the ball game, that's his 7th carry and a total of about 22 yards in the contest so far. Colts Department Store is your headquarters for great Packer merchandise. Jackets, sweatshirts, jerseys, and hats. If you're a Packer fan, we'll make it worth your while. Coles, that's more like it. Second down, let's call it 6 yards to go for Denver. There at the Packer 35-yard line in a tie ball game with 12:17 remaining in the second quarter of the ball game. McCaffrey splits left. Anthony Miller is split off to the right for Denver. Here is Musgrave, short drop again, wanted to swing it left. Everybody covered, now has to throw it late to the right side, caught at the 40, but immediately drilled to the turf is Kramer out of the backfield, and that was well played by Brian Williams.
Oh, perfect, Jim. In fact, I think Brian Williams, had he looked around a little quicker, might have intercepted that ball because it was anybody's ball.
I think that was his third receiver he was looking at, wasn't it, Larry?
Oh, yeah, he was looking all around the field. That was his last out, and Brian Williams, he has got really fine quickness and speed. He's able to cover folks.
Well, it's going to be third down and about 11 at the 40-yard line of the Packers for Denver. Big defensive play coming right here. Remember, the Packers have so much to play for here today. They're trying to clinch the Central Division today. They got a little mix-up on Denver's side.
No linebackers in the game for the Packers.
Denver's got 5 receivers out in the paddock. Here is Musgrave out of the shotgun. Here they come, and the blitz gets him at the 48-yard line. Doug Evans off the corner.
Well, one of the problems Denver has, they go with 5 wide receivers, no blockers. The Packers blitz Doug Evans. They can't make the hot read, sack.
And that's money to the back fund. Compliments of Budweiser beer. And congratulations to Doug Evans. By the way, the MAC Fund has a big auction today. For those of you in the Milwaukee area from 4 until 5 on Channel 4, got a chance to really help the MAC Fund with some gigantic auction prices. All right, back to do the kicking for the Denver Broncos. Their first punt is Tom Ruin. Ruin with a high floater turning over now. Desmond Howard at the 13. Flag on the play. Here comes Howard upfield to about the 22, but a flag thrown by the side judge down here from deep. And I'm not sure who they threw it against. The Packers were trying to block a defender as they came downfield. And we'll see what they call here. Desmond Howard on the return, and Gary Lane talks to one of his assistants in this particular ball game. It appears to be against the Packers. They had 2 blockers on a defender down here on the right side, but the ball was in the air when all of this happened. And there's a long conversation going on about it. The ball's going to be either at the 24 or somewhere less than that. Now then, they're going to call Frank Winters in to talk to Gary Lane.
I think Frank's going to get a very one-sided argument on that one.
Huh? What are you talking about? But it's interesting that they would talk to Frank. Well, we'll let Gary Lane.
I want to hear his Jersey accent.
Well, if you're wrapping up your well, let's see. Now, it's against Denver, and they want to know, do you want him to kick it over or you want to take the ball right where it is? That's the question, and I think they're going to take the ball right where it is. Let's listen to Gary Lane. A Missouri graduate, you'll know he'll speak well.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 25 on the kicking team, running out of bounds, did not make an attempt to return. 15-yard penalty, re-kick.
Darius Johnson, so they are going to re-kick.
Well, that's a tough penalty just for getting off the field, isn't it?
Well, but you didn't come back in. See, he was blocking him when he was standing out of bounds. That's what happened on the play. If you're wrapping up your holiday shopping, make your final stop at Putzer's Big and Tall and see the latest fashions for the big and tall guy on your list. Huge selections of name-brand fashions and convenient holiday hours make Putzer's the perfect place to finish up your holiday shopping. Putzer's Big and Tall, your headquarters for fashion. So you didn't have to go to New York. You could have just gone to Putzer's today, and that would have been just fine. Taking care of all of your shopping problems.
Darius Johnson is what the Broncos would call their flyer. He's split out. His job is to get down first, and he got taken right into the bench.
Let's see what difference it makes. They would have had the ball at the 24. Here is the kick. And again, what a bad kick off the side of his foot and out of bounds. Way upfield. Tom Ruin didn't get into that ball at all. He needed that lighter Denver air, didn't he?
He almost whipped that one, Jim.
And they're going to mark the ball where? At the 42-yard line? Boy, they got a pretty good mark, I'll say that. For the Bears to the 42-yard line, so they gained about 18 yards on that 15-yard penalty. So the ball will be at the 42. We have a tie ball game at 3-3 with 10:46 to go in quarter number 2. I don't know what we're waiting on. The Packers came to the line of scrimmage. Maybe the TV people weren't quite ready yet for us to get started. Larry, what's to be won here today is if you win the game, you win the Central Division. If you win and Dallas loses or ties, you get the first week off of the season, which is important.
Yes, and it's another step towards home field advantage, which is even more important.
First down to the 42, quick pattern. They loop it out to the side to Freeman. Did he catch it?
No.
I don't think they can rule it. He was juggling. Good call by the official.
No doubt about it.
At the 46-yard line, that official made a terrific call. Antonio tried to bring it into the sidelines, juggled it, and couldn't quite bring it in. And that was one of the few times that he's done that since he's come back. Not just clearly grab it and hold on. Well, that was a good pass, too.
He actually jumped when he should have kept his feet on the ground, and then he wouldn't have dropped it.
Max, didn't he also get caught with his hands in an awkward position?
But I think that comes with jumping at a ball that you don't have to jump for.
Right. I think that's exactly what happened. So it's going to be a second down and 10 at the 42-yard line. Brett Favre, 4 out of 10 so far. split the two running backs, Edgar Bennett and Henderson. Back to throw. Brett Favre dances around. Bucks time. Now throws late and overshoots Andre Rison coming down the middle. But again, he had run out of time. He got dumped on the play by the Denver Broncos. And the man who gave him a good solid pelt on the play was Jumpy Gaithers. What a Gaithers is a big guy, isn't he?
Oh, he's
good grief.
I wonder why they didn't list him on my list here.
Well, because they're not really interested in what you know and what you don't know.
Well, I don't know much, but I sure don't have him on my...
Jumpy is 6'7", 300.
Yeah, there he is, right there. See on your list?
Oh, he's second string. That's why I didn't know him.
Well, he's a pretty good second stringer. He gets to play a lot of time.
He's a pass rush specialist. Makes him even more effective.
And he is in there right now on 3rd down and 10 for the Packers at the 42-yard line. Brett having trouble connecting with his receiver.
Look out.
And he got away. Flag on the play, however, throwing a ball downfield intended for Andre Rison, unable to get there. But the Packers are going to get caught for a holding call, which will put them back even deeper. Or it'll be 4th and 10. They may decline it and force the Packers to kick right now.
I'm sure they'll decline this one.
And Atwater says we do decline, and that's what they have done.
All-out blitz by the Broncos, which the Packers failed to pick up.
Well, this season, every Packer score is one for the Mac Fund. The Packer Radio Network and participating sponsors have teamed up to continue to fight against childhood cancer with scoring for Mac. I think we've already answered the question, what kind of effort are the Denver Broncos going to put out today?
These guys want to win. There's no doubt about it.
And Max hit it right on the head before the game. You go out there, have speed, you're going to guarantee yourself you're going to get hurt.
Rod Smith, the return man, Hentrick with his first punt, and Smith called fair catch at the 12-yard line. Boy, did he battle that ball. He battled it all over the place, but he did catch it, and they'll start deep in their own territory. Timeout on the field. It's a 3-3 ball game back after this.
Been pretty basic the whole way through.
Yeah.
Just executing the regular plain vanilla stuff and executing pretty well.
Brian Williams has some late word from the sidelines on how they want to play this, and they're late lining up for Bill Musgrave, who brings them to the line of scrimmage for Denver. First down at the 12-yard line. 3-3 ball game. Here's Musgrave waiting. Musgrave on the handoff, and they give it off to Davis. Hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down Eugene Robinson up close. Just tackled him by the ankles and brought him down to the line.
Eugene Robinson that stepped up to the line of scrimmage was blitzing. No matter what the Broncos did on that play, made the tackle.
Hey, we got the whole Meyer clan here today. We got Dave and Nancy and Kyle and Kevin. Let's see. Dave and Nancy must be married, right? And Kyle is the son, and Kevin... Grandpa. Oh, no, here. Oh, okay, now we got it. Here we go. All right, it's going to be a 2nd down and 10 from the 12-yard line for the single running back. Musgrave, short drop, comes to a slant, deflected, I believe, by Simmons. And it was intended on a quick slant. It might have worked for McCaffrey, but the ball was deflected.
So they got Denver right where they wanted, Jim, with a young quarterback that hadn't played much down in that end of the field. Yeah. They really want to make him make a mistake, and he almost made it right there.
Wayne Simmons, one of the Packers' best athletes, and showing some of that ability right there.
You know, if that ball had floated up in the air, it was probably a Packer touchdown.
Yeah, probably. Anybody's ball if he had just got a little more hand on it.
3rd down and 10. Gilbert Brown comes out of the lineup for the Packers. They still have 2 running backs in the backfield. On 3rd down, out of the shotgun will go Musgrave. Now he sends McCaffrey out of that backfield in motion. Musgrave waits, gets a good snap from center. Here they come, fires the ball up to the right to Sharp. He's brought down at the 20-yard line. Good open field tackle by Leroy Butler. He's been looking forward to this matchup. He brings him down at the 20, only a gain of about 6.
Packers lining up in 3 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and 6 DBs. And that time they sent Brian Williams, Leroy Butler up to snuff on one-on-one pass coverage on Shannon Sharp.
Now, I'll tell you something else. This guy is not a good kicker with this win, Jim. The Packers are going to come out with great field position.
Tom Ruins to do the kicking, standing back at the 5-yard line. The ball snapped from the 20, and Desmond Howard at the 41 at the other end. Here's a good snap, and Ruins a long time getting it off, but he hung this one up there nicely. Here's Desmond Howard at the 35. It's returnable. He gets to the 40, to the 45 to the outside, and out of bounds at midfield. Nice return. He picked the hole, and one of the things he does, Max, he goes to the hole quicker.
He does, and then heads for the sideline.
I'm out on the field. 3-3 ball game. He's banking. Rely on the best. Rely on First Financial Bank. Currently the best bank in Wisconsin, according to Money Magazine. First Financial Bank, an equal housing lender and a member FDIC. Boy, what's happened here is the Packers have won field position battles so far. Denver had a first down at the Packers 35-yard line, and now the Packers have the ball at the 50-yard line. So they've turned that thing around a little bit.
And these opportunities got to be taken advantage of.
You're right about that. These are 2 good defensive teams going at each other so far today. The Packers have 46 yards, and Denver has 99. in the first half of the game. First down at midfield for Green Bay. Now Brett Favre checking at the line of scrimmage. Turns to everybody and says hello. Here's a fake pitch. Now Brett caught, and Brett's down back at the 46 and sacked. He wanted a quick slant pattern. I don't know whether it's to Jackson or what, but Romanowski messed it up.
Exactly right. The Packers were trying to get cute with the fake on the run and then a quick slant pattern, but they had Keith Jackson and Andre Rison covered.
So they lose 4 on the play. Denver's not easily fooled, are they?
This is a good defensive line in there. Those linebackers. This is about as good as we faced this year, Jim. And they're not. The Packers aren't fooling them. You're going to have to block them.
Dan Williams on the left is the 4th-year player out of Toledo. He is 290 pounds. Lodish, the left tackle, 280, and then Jumpy Gaithers at 300. Then you have Michael Dean Perry, a veteran player who has played well in this league, at 6'1", 285, and Alfred Williams, 6'6", 265, and lightning quick. Second down and 14. Brett straight back in the pocket. Good protection this time. Comes upfield to midfield, caught by Mickens, who slides forward for a couple of yards down to about the 47 to make it a third down and a little workable 7-yard play here.
Yeah, I think they would have liked to got a little bit more out of that in Jim, so they'd have a better chance on third down. But I'll tell you, these boys cover close. They came to play.
Broncos 3rd in the league defensively, 1st against the rush, 9th against the pass.
Well, the ball's at the 48-yard line in Denver territory now. Freeman goes to the left. Rison to the right. Andre's been unable to get a ball thrown in his area where he can catch it. Here's Brett Favre waiting on third down. Almost had him leaning.
Oh, they did
lean. Here's Brett with the free play. Now Brett on the scramble is brought down at the 47-yard line.
They'll get another chance.
It looked as if Denver had moved at the line of scrimmage. I thought they got back, but now they're going to indicate that the offsides did come, and the Packers will get another opportunity. So Denver a little bit anxious so far in the play in this ball game. Let's listen to Gary Lane.
Offsides, defense, number 79.
Guess who that
5-yard penalty.
Jumpy.
Still third down.
Jumpy jumped offside.
Jumpy's a little jumpy.
The Wisconsin Volkswagen dealers want to put you in the driver's seat of a Jetta GL. Come on in for a test drive. Call 1-800-DRIVE-VW for a conveniently located dealership near you.
At 6'7", 300, being jumpy is not something you're going to get away with.
Another guy that really helped their defense. They went on and got Michael Dean Perry, and he's kind of shored up that whole deal in there.
Third down and 3. Well, they were 8-8 last year, and I think the major difference this year is the defense. Third and 3 at the 43-yard line for the Packers. In motion to the right is Freeman. Here's Brett with a quick slant pattern. First down to Andre Rison. Had a way to do it. Got him involved. 36-yard line. Gained him about 7 and a first down for the Packers. If you throw that ball right, not much of a chance to stop that play.
No chance without some underneath help. And that time the linebacker was not there. Perfect pass.
Another well-designed play because the Packers overloaded receivers to the other side of the field, allowing Andre all that room to work.
10 seconds for station identification. This is the Packer Radio Network.
For Cumberland, Hayward, and all of Wisconsin's great Northwest, this is AM 1240 and 96.3 FM WJMC. Rice Lake,
36, Brett Favre, quick slant pattern, all broken up beautifully by Washington. It was intended for Freeman. Freeman kind of stopped. I'm not sure what Favre thought, but Favre was saying you got to go on through. Freeman stopped, and when he came back to him, that allowed Washington to get a hand in there and knock the ball down.
Yeah, I don't think Freeman was too happy with that route because he was not where the ball was.
He was going to get ding-dong, too, if he runs that route very deep inside there.
That might have had an effect.
Second down and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Got two good football teams here. Nothing is going to be easy today, I don't think.
Not at all. 3-3 tie ball game with 6:41 to go in the first half of the ball game. Split two receivers to the right, Rison and Don Beebe. Two to the left, Mickens and Freeman. Here's Brett on the draw play up the middle, trying to clear it out for Dorsey Levens, who gets down to the 31 and a gain of about 5. They tried to spread everybody out and break it through the middle, and it just never did quite open up. It's a nice gain of 5 yards, but it's third down and 5 at the 31-yard line.
Frankie Winter's doing a good job of staying with Bill Romanowski, getting him that 5 yards.
Third down. Well, they officially mark it at the 32, so it'll be about 6 yards to go. By the way, happy 51st wedding anniversary to Leif and Betty Inkson. And they came over with Eric the Red, didn't they? 51 years ago. Yes.
No, a while ago, one of our sponsors, happy birthday on December the 10th to Billy the Hunter Lancel from La Crosse.
All right. Third down and 6. Here's Brett. Play action fake. Looking.
Wide
over
open.
The middle. Caught by Keith Jackson. First down at the 18-yard line. Keith Jackson in the middle. Brett had a little bit of time and fired a bullet for the first down.
Well, a big target in there, Jim, and he just wandered around and again found a hole in that zone. Wide open. Perfect pass.
This will bring back some pleasant memories to the two of you. Jim Thorpe proposed to Karen Lobbs today on the field before the game. Did you know that? Doesn't say what she said.
What are we supposed to be remembering?
I played with a lot of guys, but I never got to play with Jim Thorpe.
It's going to be a first down at the 18-yard line. Here's Brett. The handoff up the middle to Edgar Bennett. Bennett with a flag thrown on the play at the 15-yard line. Gets to the 15. And that, unfortunately, is thrown about where holding would have been called on Frankie Winters, who's standing there arguing with the official.
Which will do no good whatsoever.
No, it won't. So the flag was thrown. Interesting, though, it was thrown a couple of yards down the field. That was an awfully quick flag, and it's holding against the Green Bay Packers.
Frankie's not going to give up, though. He's going to give him one last.
Offense, number 52.
That's Frankie.
10-yard penalty, still first down.
You know, I was talking with Frank Winters, Max, about a game that the Packers played in New York. It must have been somewhere around 68, somewhere in that range, in which they ran the ball so well, and Jerry Kramer said, just call anything, it'll work. And I thought the Packer running game last week against the Bears in the fourth quarter was about the same way.
I believe you're right.
And he said at the time, it was just a flow, you know, it was just so nice to do that.
I never heard that one.
First, you were probably gone by then. First down in more ways than one. First
Jim's
down
making this stuff up. It's a convenient
I like
memory.
That story. I'll ask Jerry about it.
You tell anybody you want to. They'll tell you. Here's first down at the 29-yard line, and again a jump off sides by the Denver Broncos. The ball upfield. Whoa!
Oh, it's a dead ball.
They call illegal procedure on a part of the Packers, and this call on this side was offside. But the official on the far side, the side judge on the far side, said the Packers, or line judge rather, said the Packers illegally had an illegal procedure call.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Well, they got flags on both sides, and the official on the far side, I saw him signal illegal procedure. Well, now, did this guy come offside at the same time?
No, that
and which takes precedence?
The offensive illegal procedure takes.
Well, they're going to have a conference about it. Let's put it that way. Well, fans, what do you do when you need cash? Here in Packerland, we depend on time. That's TYME, available 24 hours per day, 365 days a year at thousands of time machines located throughout Packerland. For more information on time, contact your financial institution. Here's another one of these conference calls.
I'll tell you, the officials are actually in the huddle more than the players these days.
They're still talking. Now, you know, what the argument may be, did they pull the guy in the motion?
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 84. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Andre Rison, so now becomes first down and 25. I think what the thought of the Packers was that the guy jumping off on the right side may have drawn their guy offside. But they didn't go for it.
Well, a wide receiver would not have been drawn off. Evidently,
I just saw a thing on the screen there. It didn't look like Andre Rison moved at all.
I'll tell you what, no matter what, Mike Holmgren, this kind of stuff drives him crazy.
I know.
Penalties drives him crazy.
When you get a first down at the 18, now you have a first down at the 34. So the Packers need to move the football. Here is a play-action fake by Brett.
Back to throw.
Fires to the outside and threw a pass too low. It was intended for Freeman, who really did a good job of driving his defender off and was wide open on that square out, and Brett did not get it to him.
Brett a little off balance when he let that one go and was nowhere near Freeman, who did run a perfect pattern.
Yeah, ran a nice pattern over on the left side. We're still tied at 3-all. 4:31 to go here in the first half of the ball game.
The field is in good winter condition, but it is a little slippery.
So this time Mickens and Freeman go left. Rison and Beebe go to the right. And Levens is the backfield man on second down and 25. In motion to the near side to put three receivers on the right. Here's the handoff to Levens, trying to get through the hole. Levens can't get outside and brought down at the 31 on a nice open field tackle made by the Denver Broncos' Darius Johnson to drop him at the 31 and a gain of about 5 on the play to make it a third down and 20.
Packers running a little inside trap with Aaron Taylor being the trap blocker. Dorsey choosing to take it outside the block, which is a little unusual.
This Darius Johnson, 175 pounds, and he got right in there and took down Levens, who can run over anybody.
He had the angle on him.
Yeah.
So that was the deal. Get the angle.
Got him by the feet.
Third down and over 20 yards to go, and now a time called by the Denver Broncos. Timeout by the Denver Broncos. We'll take a break and be back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
You deserve quality and value.
Defense is just that good. There's no question about that. So here come the Packers to the line of scrimmage. Denver with 2 timeouts remaining. The Packers with 3. Brett Favre needs a big play right here. Let's get it into the end zone. Favre has been picked off one time in this ballgame. Here's Brett up under, waiting for the snap from center. Goes straight back in the pocket. He's got some time. Steps up in that pocket. Throws long downfield. It's caught to the 11-yard line. First down. Well, maybe. Let's see where they mark it. The official going to mark it at the 8. That would be a first down to Antonio Freeman. And what a throw that time. I said to you during the timeout, Brett's not throwing the ball well. Well, he threw it well that time.
He really did. And one of the reasons, Jim, he had such good protection, they didn't get him off balance, and he just fired a bullet.
And part of that protection was Edgar Bennett helping out John Michaels on Alfred Williams, their big-time sackers. Nice job by Edgar Bennett.
I'll tell you what, it's a good job by Antonio Freeman. He got 23 when you needed 21. You go to where you got the first down, and that's where he went to.
Yeah, that's a big play right there.
First and goal at the 8-yard line for the Packers, who are awfully good in this territory. Receiver to the right is Freeman. To the left is Andre Rison. He comes in motion to the near side, does Rison. Here's Brett on a play-action fake. Rolls to the right, drops it to Henderson. Dropped down at the line of scrimmage. What a great play by John Mobley. I thought that was a terrifically designed play underneath to Henderson, and he gets only 2 yards out of it.
We've seen that play work so many times that I think we got spoiled because that didn't work that time.
Absolutely right. A lot of misdirection. It usually fouls up the other team's coverage. Not that time. John Mobley, their first-round draft choice.
He played that nicely, didn't he? Second and goal at the 7-yard line. A gain of 1 on the completion. Rison left. And Freeman to the right for the Packers. I formation out of the running backs for Green Bay from the 7-yard line. Here's Brett up under waiting. Brett on the handoff to Edgar Bennett. Bennett's got to 5. Cut right back into a defender, but slides forward down to about the 3-yard line.
I'll tell you what, not a ton of yardage that time, but William Henderson just buckled John Mobley's knees. That Henderson's a load.
Third down, however, and goal at the 4-yard line for the Packers. That play looked like it was going to be a pretty good wide-open play, but somebody in the middle, maybe Gaithers, who kind of blocked it up, and he had to go over it was Gaithers. Had to go right over the top of his back.
And I'll tell you another thing. Edgar would have been better off staying right behind Henderson on that rather than cutting it back.
2-minute warning. Timeout. Back after this from your local stations on the Packer Radio Network. The Broncos have just 2 in the remaining time, and you're just looking, Max, in this ballgame to see one team get a little momentum on the other, and neither has been able to do that.
Well, remember last week when it was so tight, and then right before halftime, the Packers scored. This would be a great time to put something in the end zone.
All right, here's Brett at the line of scrimmage. He's got 4 wide receivers, and Dorsey Levens in the backfield for him. He waits for the snap from center. Now Brett is going to change the play at the line of scrimmage, and Levens splits over to the right side. He waits. Here they come. Here's Brett rolling to the right. Fires in zone. Dropped it. It was intended for Freeman, and Lionel Washington hit him, and Freeman says, I got hit before the ball got there. And the official says, no, you didn't. And it will be 4th down for the Packers. That was a good throw. Freeman had a chance to catch it.
Yeah, good play there, Jim. But as you said, he was just hit at the same time the ball got there. It flopped out, but the Packers will end up with a field goal here.
Well, the Broncos credit. Good defense.
Oh, yeah, they are a tough defensive team. Chris Jackie will try the field goal for the Packers, try to give them the lead. This will be a 22-yarder. I'm trying to look at the replay, and, you know, I think that was a pretty good time play by Lionel Washington. So Jackie, the try for the field goal to give the Packers the lead. The ball is down. The kick is on the way, and the kick is good. And with 1:54 to go, the Packers lead 6-3. But I think the one thing that concerns you most is the opportunity to score a couple of times here and had to settle for the field goals.
Absolutely. Denver, the quality opponent that they are, those chances aren't going to come along every quarter or every couple series. I mean, you got to take advantage of it.
1:54, and I don't think, Max, that this is anything other than just good defense being played. I think the Packers are playing all right, and Denver is just playing awfully well.
I'll tell you, it's easy to figure out why they've won 9 in a row, Jim. This is a very solid football team, and so far the Packers have not found a weak spot.
Here's a quiz for you. Chris Jackie, by scoring 6 points today, becomes only the 2nd player in the Packers' 76-year history to score 800 points in a career. Who's the other guy?
Horning.
Nah, it was Don Hudson, 823, back in 35 through 45. So
well, if he gets... Horning would have, but they kicked him out one year for booking my bets.
Well, day in and day out, at home or away from home, you can always count on the great taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, and it never lets you down. So make it a Bud Light.
You know, we're talking about how impressive Denver is. Bronco fans are sitting at home thinking, hey, these Packers, they're ahead of our Broncos. They're really a good football team.
Well, and Musgrave has played well. Musgrave is 9 out of 12, 81 yards. Brett Favre is 9 out of 20. for 81 yards, and both have been sacked one time, but Favre has been picked off one time.
Well, we've had the ball most of the time. Musgrave and the boys, this week, we've had the ball most of the first half.
All right, here is the kickoff by Chris Jackie. This was not going very far. This baby just hangs up in the air, and Von Hebron catches it at the 19 to the 25, the 30. On his feet, fumbles, and falls down. Still on his face guard. And wait a minute, they're going to rule him down somewhere. Who blew the whistle? Now, nobody's marked the ball. This official on this near side marked the ball at the 37. And you're right, Max. If the ball isn't blown dead there, somebody did grab him by the face mask when he got up.
But it was after the play, so they didn't call anything.
So the ball's going to be at the 37-yard line.
Former Packer Timmy Houck, you'll remember that name.
Sure.
Making a block for Hebron that time.
I thought he was one of the best special teams players we've had here in a long time.
He's their second leading special teams tackler. He ain't changed.
No, he is good.
First down at the 37.
Well, we didn't want this good a field position. They got a chance to make a move now.
Miller and McCaffrey both line up on the left side this time on first down. And here is Musgrave rolling to the right, firing to the outside to Sharp, and broken up by Leroy Butler. And Butler was a half step away from scoring a touchdown. He played the ball awfully well. You know what he wanted to do? He had to hesitate just for a moment to make sure he didn't let Sharp get away from him.
But Musgrave made one of those mistakes that quarterbacks do when he looked at one receiver all the way so that nobody had to worry it was going to Sharp.
He threw it on the corner, and Leroy had to make sure that Sharp didn't break away from him. Then when he made his cut on the ball, just about a half step late.
And to be honest with you, I think Leroy would tell you I should have had that one.
Yeah, he probably would. But he's playing Shannon Sharp, and it's an interesting matchup. Second down and 10 for Denver. Man in motion to the near side again is McCaffrey. Here is Musgrave straight back in the pocket looking. Here they come. He dumps the ball up over the middle, and Sharp is hit immediately by Butler and driven down again. Leroy is playing inside the jockstrap of Shannon Sharp.
Well, now, wait a minute.
No, Bob, this is figuratively speaking. Gain of about 3 yards on the play.
Getting kind of frisky in your old age. It's the great part about getting old. You just don't care anymore, do you?
To heck with him.
Like I said, it was a good-looking cow.
Third down at about 7. And a big defensive play gives you some time with the ball here. They split a man off to the left side, does Denver, and Mike Sherrard. They have one split wide to the right, and they have a slot on the left side as well. On third down and about 7. Miller goes in motion to the far side of the field. Here is Musgrave, short drop, quick pattern on a slant, and it's broken up, intended for Sherrard, and broken up. Good defensive coverage by the Packers on the play.
Tyrone Williams.
Williams got the knockaway, and so the Packers will get the ball back with about, well, they have a minute now. They're going to be able to put it in play at about 45. So they have 3 timeouts to work with, leading 6-3, and that was a good defensive stance because Denver had fine field position on the play.
Well, we got 2 defenses playing well right now.
Tommy Rowan to kick again for Denver. And this is a drive. This is a nice play that Desmond Howard comes up, took a look at the defense, and makes the fair catch at about the 27, and the Packers will have 51 seconds to work with, plus 3 timeouts. So you've got some time to get it down within field goal range if you're the Green Bay Packers. For the Packers. Leading 6-3. Here's Brett. And a play-action fake. Back to throw it. Now he dances away to the left, fires it upfield. It's caught by Freeman out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Boy, Freeman does that so effortlessly on the sidelines, getting those feet in. And Brett with a nice throw with 45 seconds remaining. Picks up about 18 yards.
I think Denver will reassess their pass rush, Jim. They're rushing 3 guys, which means they're never going to get to Brett Favre, and we got guys that can get open. They're going to send some blitzer here pretty quick.
He brings them to the line of scrimmage, does Brett Favre. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. The one on the right is Andre Rison. Dorsey Levens, the lone backfield man. They blitz this time over the middle to Chimura to the 45. Chimura on his feet to the 40. Breaks away to the 35. Down the sidelines out of bounds at the 27-yard line with 37 seconds remaining. Great individual effort by Mark Chimura.
Oh, what a guy to have come back this week, Jim. He proved it right there how strong he is. He got a nothing pass, real short pass, and ran over 3 or 4 guys and got him in position.
And Brett reading the blitz beautifully and popping it right over to Chimura, his hot man, just the way they draw it up.
Now you're in good shape. You've got the ball down at the 27-yard line with 3 timeouts.
See, I knew I could count him into blitzing, and Brett would eat him up.
Yes, right.
Brett is so dangerous in these situations.
All right, first down at the 27-yard line of Denver. Rison to the right and Freeman to the left. Back goes Brett straight back in the pocket, setting up a screen. It goes to Levens on the left. Levens looking for a block, gets to the 20, down at about the 19, and a timeout with 29 seconds remaining.
Two fine jobs. One by John Michaels, getting the defensive end on the ground so Brett could throw over him. The other by Frankie Winters, sustaining his drop down
And
field.
the crowd rising to its feet because the Packers have come from the 27 down inside the 20 to the 19 in 3 plays.
Boy, they're roaring down the field here. Let's hope they can come out with a touchdown out of this thing.
Well, the voting's being tallied for the True Value NFL Man of the Year contest. Your Packer nominee is Mark Chmura. Watch for the winner, Super Bowl weekend. True Value, the official hardware store of the NFL. In fact, I hope we get to go to the coronation down there, don't you?
Betcha. So we were talking about the theory last week. Prevent defenses usually don't prevent anything.
All right, the ball is down at the 19-yard line. 29 seconds remaining. The Bears lead St. Louis 7-3 in the second quarter of their game in Chicago today. What really the interesting games that we need to keep track of are the late games, not the early games. San Francisco, Carolina, the game that involves Minnesota, which is tonight, and the game involving Dallas, which starts at 3 o'clock.
At Arizona.
At Arizona. Nice place to play today. Second down and 2 for the Packers at the 19-yard line of the Denver Broncos. Here's Brett Favre with the play. Brett on a draw, gives it up the middle to Edgar Bennett. He's got the 15 down to the 14, and they take another quick timeout. No, they didn't. Now they lost a couple of seconds down to the 23-second mark on the clock.
Good job by Earl Dotson and Adam Timmerman. The key on draws is staying with your guy. Both of them did that well.
And Max is going to bring us up to date on scores.
All right. Atlanta 14-3 over New Orleans. There's a great game to watch. Cincinnati 10-7 over Baltimore. But the ones we really need to know about are Chicago 7-3 over St. Louis. Hey, Tampa Bay 13-3 over Washington. That's kind of an upset.
I'll tell you what, Washington and Philadelphia kind of paving the way a little bit for the Dallas Cowboys, even though Dallas lost Leon Lett.
You know, you talk about the Cowboys all you want. You look at the standings going into today's action. There's the Cowboys tied for the lead in the NFC East at 85.
Denver has a man down at a no, I don't think. Is there a man down?
Yes, there is.
It looks like one guy is working on cleats while they have another guy with the guy down. So they're taking a long time to take care of that gentleman. Gary Lane says we will take care. By the way, at halftime, Lynn Casper and Bill Scott will join you on our broadcast here to give you their impressions of this first half, which has been a strong defensive struggle.
Tyrone Braxton being helped off the field.
Got a note here from Bob Viking and all of the gang at Portage. Bob Viking DJs from Portage, whoever they might be. Well, thanks a lot for the good note. Was it a get well known? I don't think so. We're not sick yet.
Since we're saying hellos, I'd like to say hello to Pete Graninger, who was a heck of a nose tackle at Anago High a few years back.
Anago High.
You know what happened here? Because Denver had an injured player, by rule, the timeout is charged to Denver, and this is big, and they put the timeout back on the Packers side of the ball, and so you have 2 timeouts left, Max, which means that you can again throw the ball into the middle if you want to.
Yeah, they got a good opportunity. They got plenty of time here to score a touchdown.
With 2 timeouts, you certainly do. Now, that's an interesting technical call there. An injured player for Denver in Tyrone Braxton, which puts the timeout on them and takes it away from Brett Favre and the Packers.
Your comprehension of the rules is...
It's just mind-boggling at times, isn't it?
Especially a small mind like mine.
It's a first down and 10 at the 14-yard line of the Denver Broncos. Rising to the right and Antonio Freeman to the left for the Packers. Frank Winters comes up over the ball for Green Bay. The running backs Edgar Bennett and Dorsey Levens. Both of them can catch the ball out of the backfield. Here is Brett up to the line of scrimmage now. 23 seconds left in the first half. Bennett in motion to the outside. Brett waits for the snap. Goes straight back in the pocket. He's got to get rid of the ball. He got rid of it. He throws it
wide open.
Touchdown to Antonio Freeman, I believe, in the end zone for the Packers. And what happened? Favre was under a blitz. He got rid of the blitz. He turned and fired it, and Antonio Freeman was wide open for the touchdown.
I'll tell you, that was just brute strength by Favre, Jim. He just pushed that lineman off of it, got set again, and there was Freeman down in the end zone. A perfect pass.
Only one quarterback in the league makes that play with that kind of pressure.
Yeah,
Mike Lotus went unblocked.
There's not many quarterbacks could have stood up under that particular rush.
Well, it ain't bad to have Freeman back in the lineup either, folks. 17 seconds to go in the second quarter, and the Packers have moved out in front 12-3. And holding is Hendrick. The ball down, and the kick is on the way, and the kick is good. 13-3 in favor of the Packers. And Max, you talk about an impressive drive at the end of the half. That one was it. They got the ball with 51 seconds, and they only used 34 seconds to go, 73 yards.
Remember, they did the same thing last week just before halftime to really, that hurts you when you go to halftime after you've just given up an easy one.
Well, here's what hurts Denver right now. Denver will have the ball for 17 seconds to lead the halftime, and the Packers get the ball right back because they'll get the second half kickoff. And for Brett Favre, touchdown pass number 32, and that was just typical Brett Favre. 73 yards in how many plays, Jim? 6 plays by the Packers.
I think the Broncos secondary got caught admiring Mike Lotus's pass rush.
I think you're right. There's that little moment when you think the quarterback is caught and you give up.
Well, the guy that was back there was never blocked, and Brett ends up getting away from a guy that nobody even blocked, and that's a pretty tough deal.
By the way,
officially deadly right up the gut.
5 plays for the touchdown to go 73 yards. Well, that kind of helped his passing statistic, didn't it? 13 out of 24, 149 yards now for Brett Favre.
We love that last 2 minutes before the half.
We do, don't we? Hendrick will do the kicking off for the Packers. I like playing on Lambeau Field, to tell you the truth. 13-3 ball game. Here is the kickoff by Craig Hendrick. This is a low skimmer, a line drive that is going to be batted around short by Chamberlain at the 23. Upfield he goes, dives over one man, ball loose, and about the 34-yard line. And I don't know who's got it.
I'll tell you what,
it appears to be Denver because none of the Packers are jumping and saying it's ours.
Ron Cox laid a lick on him.
Let's see, who are they going to rule it to with only 11 seconds to go? And nobody ever signaled, and Denver's bringing the offense on, so I'm going to assume it's Denver's ball.
Well, that's a pretty good assumption.
Well, you said I had a quick grasp of the rules.
They normally give it to the people that end up with it.
It's intimidating to be in the presence of greatness.
All right, the ball will be placed down at the 35-yard line. Denver with 11 seconds. I don't think they're going to mess around much here with only one timeout at 11 seconds, and they don't want to make a mistake, so Musgrave will come to the line of scrimmage. They are in a position to run a play, however. They're not kneeling down on it, trailing 13-3. Musgrave waits. Musgrave on the handoff. They're going to let Davis see what he can do. He gets to the outside, breaks one tackle, and is dragged down at the 39, and that will be the end of the first half. First half ends with the Packers playing well in that second quarter, leading 13-3. We'll take a break and be back with our halftime after this on the Packer Radio Network.
No matter what.
Contestant here in the third quarter, Mike Van Leeshot from Merrill, Wisconsin. So, Mike, you've already won that 48-quart Budweiser cooler. And Mike Van Leeshot, if the Packers score from at least 62 yards away in a single play, you have to call 414-799-1620 within 6 minutes and 20 seconds in order to win $620. All right, time for the kickoff. Packers have the lead, 13-3. That ball keeps blowing off the tee box down there. They're going to bring a man in to hold it for now. He's going to try it again without it.
One more chance.
Yeah, it's happened about 4 or 5 times so far today. Jason Elam is the man who does the kicking for the Denver Broncos. Here's the kickoff by Elam, and this is a floater that's a line drive that Howard's going to take at the 8-yard line. They're coming back to the right. Looking for a little hole. He cuts it up inside, tries to get outside, can't. Oh, what a great play by Darius Johnson to bring him down at the 17-yard line, and that looked like that had a chance to go somewhere, Larry.
Well, the tough part of that return was a return to the right side of the field, and the ball went way to the left side of the field, so it took Desmond forever to get back behind the wedge.
Does the receiver ever have the option of going up to the left when it comes like that, or does he got to get behind that wedge?
Well, obviously you want to get behind the wedge, Jim, but if I saw a hole, I think you can go anywhere you want to if you think you can make something.
They put the ball at the 16-yard line, so the Packers are deep in their own territory as we start this third quarter. A 13-3 ball game, split the 2 running backs, Edgar Bennett and William Henderson. And here's a play-action fake by Brett. He wants to throw it upfield, does, and just threw it away. Nobody open out there. It looked like Freeman got hooked up with Steve Atwater and couldn't get away from him downfield. And so Brett said, I got to get rid of this ball, and just threw it away.
Well, that's true.
That was an interesting play, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked like
some would call it just bad.
Real interesting because it looked like nobody knew what was called.
Freeman, after the ball went over, he pointed at himself as if to say, that's my fault. I'm not sure what went on there at all.
And after 5 catches in the first half, he's going to draw some extra attention from the Broncos secondary.
Second down and 10 at the 16-yard line. Can't afford to make a mistake here deep in your own territory. Here's Brett on the draw play. He comes up the middle and driving to the 22, maybe the 23 is Dorsey Levens. Levens gets about 6, maybe 7 on the play out to the 23-yard line. So the Packers coming back to the run when Denver expects a pass.
Good thing it wasn't a pass, Jim. Ray Crockett was on a blitz, and he had a beeline on Brett Favre. Of course, maybe if it had been a pass, they would have had somebody blocking, but I don't think so.
Sometimes because of his ball skills, you forget that Dorsey is a 235 to 240-pound running back. He has got some horsepower going there.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 3. You'd love to keep this drive going. It's from deep in your own territory at the 23-yard line. Brett has 4 receivers out this time, 2 on each side. Quick shot drop. Now he rolls to the right, needs some help. Fires the ball upfield and is intercepted by the Denver Broncos. That's Braxton, I think, and he's going to be brought down at the 29-yard line.
Worst thing at
Tyrone Braxton, and I'm not sure what Brett was trying to do. The ball really needed to be thrown away, but Denver's gotten the ball at the 28-yard line.
Brett has trouble knowing when to say, the heck with this play, let's go on to the next play, the next series, what have you, and I think that was a perfect example.
It was a good example.
He never says die.
That's shades of the old Brett Favre that will not give up a play. And if you don't give up a play like that, you get in trouble. That's 2 interceptions today, both of which you should have gone down with the ball or thrown it out of bounds.
And the problem with that is you had a chance to put some real pressure on Denver, and now they've got a chance to turn everything right around.
A drive there would have killed Denver. It'd been out of the game. Now, if Denver scores here, they got a real problem.
Miller is off to the right, and McCaffrey is off to the left for the Denver Broncos. McCaffrey goes in motion to the right. Here is the drive and a handoff to Davis up the middle to the 25, breaks the tackle. Santana Dotson appeared to have him around the shoulders, and he gets it down to the 23 for a gain of about 5 yards. That's why he's a good running back. He's leaning forward every time.
Yeah, they're going to move it back a yard or so, though.
Well, let's see. Where are they going to put it? They're going to put it at the 25, so a gain of only 3 on the play.
Something you don't see very often. Gilbert Brown actually getting budged an inch or 2 on that play.
I think it might have been him. It might have been Gilbert Brown that Davis slid from and got upfield. Dotson was in there, but I think it was Brown who had his hands on it.
Decent job by Tom Nail in the Broncos.
2nd and about 6.5. Here is Musgrave on the right and a handoff, and they're going to stay with Davis, and Davis slides forward to the 21. He just keeps the lean going and gets it down to the 21-yard line, where it becomes a 3rd down at about 3 for the Denver Broncos with 13:05 to go here in the 3rd quarter of the game.
Crucial play here.
Yeah, it really is. They're going to mark it just shy of the 21-yard line. Denver deep in the Packer territory. Dotson comes back in. Out of the lineup comes Ron Cox, George Kuntz, and Brian Williams. And the Packers are expecting a passing play. They'll go right with Sherrard.
6 defensive backs, 1 linebacker for the Packers in dime package.
Left with McCaffrey and Miller in the slot on the left side. Here is the ride and the handoff, and Davis is hit at the line of scrimmage. Didn't get much. They tried to power it off the left side, and he got maybe the 20-yard line at the most, and that was it.
They'll have to go for the field goal.
Fine defensive line play by both Gilbert Brown and Sean Jones.
I got to tell you, from the Denver Broncos standpoint, that was about as conservative as you can get deep in somebody's territory.
I was not surprised, though, that they ran the football with having the leading rusher in the league.
39-yard field goal try by Jason Elam. He has 1 in the ball game so far. Waiting, the ball is down a little low. Here's the kick on the way, and the kick is a line drive. That is good. It becomes 13-6, and a timeout on the field. Back after this from your local station on the Packer Radio Network. If that and an extra point of a tie now, 13-6. Still 11:56 to go in the 3rd quarter, and Denver will kick off to the Packers again. Desmond Howard and Travis Jervey are the deep men for the Packers on this play.
Kind of a moral victory for the Packer defense, but certainly not the way that Green Bay wanted to start.
No, I'm sure you come out of that locker room and you think, boy, let's go get something here, and then you wind up, it goes 3 the other way. It's like a 10-point reversal almost.
Well, the main thing it does, Jim, it ignites the other team.
Right.
You know, you've got them ready to on the ropes. If you just go ahead and throw one more punch, they're out of there, and now they're all pepped up again.
We still have some sunshine, but it's a winter kind of sunshine that really looks like it would like to snow more than anything.
There's a big wind. Well, you look at those flags down there. They're really whipping.
All right, here's the kickoff by Jason Elam, the ball being held this time. And Desmond Howard at the 3. Desmond Howard goes to the left. They got the return to the left. He's to the 10, and he's going to be brought down at the 11-yard line. Boy, he's just not getting out of there at all from Jason Elam now.
The Broncos doing a good job of guessing right, kicking the ball away from the side called for the return.
So they'll start from deep in their own territory at the 12-yard line. It's just what we were talking about, Max. If you make a mistake deep in this territory, it gets turned into points generally, and that's what's happened here so far today. Well, do you know which team has the best handoff in the world? The team at your local McDonald's drive-thru. Where else can you get a big beefy Big Mac, delicious fries, and an icy cold Coca-Cola for one low, low price? First down at the 12 is where the ball is officially marked for the Packers. High formation, split the two running backs of Edgar Bennett and William Henderson. Brett Favre up under, maybe changing the play now as he stands up and looks both left and right, and then gets down under the center again. Winters comes right back in his face. You know what? I don't know what happened in that play.
They were offsides. Denver was offside.
The reason that I would agree with that, because it appeared Winters was pushed right back into the face of Brett Favre. Now they're going to call it against the Packers.
Chimera.
I'll tell you what. That was an interesting play because Winters was right back in Favre's face before the ball even got there.
Well, I saw the middle guy there jump on Winters there, but I didn't see...
Yeah, he was leaning.
I think what you saw with Frankie snapped the ball a little early as well.
Yeah, and Chimera was leaning on the play, so it's a first down and 15. Well, again, the Packers haven't been real sharp except for the last drive of the first half. Here is Brett back to throw on first down in the end zone. Comes up over the middle. It's caught. And Freeman gets it out to the 20, just short of the first down. Antonio Freeman with his 6th catch of the day at a gain on the play of about 13 yards.
Well, what a difference it's made getting Freeman back. He is by far their top receiver, and he's made so much difference in Brett Favre able to move this football.
Packers using play-action passing. That draws, it can't help but draw the linebackers. They have to at least honor it, take a step or two up, and it takes away some of the underneath coverage.
Well, that was a big play. Now it's second down and 2 yards to go. Back at the 20-yard line. You got to get it out to about the 22.5 for the first down. Freeman goes left this time as a slot man. Then you have a wide receiver outside there. In motion to the right comes Edgar Bennett. And the handoff goes up the middle. There's Henderson to the 30, to the 35, and the 36-yard line. Yeah, William Henderson popped that baby, but a flag at the line of scrimmage holding on to Packers.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my.
Maybe that's the reason he had such a big hole all at once.
Boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Did he break it quick, though.
And that is one scary sight, seeing that 250-pounder coming at you.
Let's listen.
Holding offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Wait a minute. John Michaels got caught on the hold. How many penalties is that on the Packers today?
Too
6
many
penalties, yeah. And at key moments, you know, at moments when you break a big play. Now it's a second down and 12 for the Packers back at the 10-yard line.
But that was also a miserable call.
But that drives coaches to be gray-headed when they get those penalties.
It's one of those you can call at any time kind of plays, is it?
Not even that.
It's got to be a second down. And that's from a lineman. Purely objective. Here's Brett. The ball deflected. And
intercepted.
No, not intercepted.
He missed it.
Not intercepted. The ball deflected and bounced up in the air. And a Denver player dived for it. And the official ruled he did not come up with the play down on the ground holding the ball like he did. But Steve Atwater, who is all over everything. No, beg your pardon. That's a linebacker.
It's Aldridge.
Not 27. It's 57. Alan Aldridge.
This series has been one ugly mess.
Well, the 2 series to start the second half. The Packers almost as if they're having to re-gear for some reason or other. Third down and 12. Need something to ignite the crowd and ignite the team. Henderson looked as if he had done it, but then suddenly he didn't do it.
That Aldridge looked like he intercepted the ball, too.
All right, here is Brett Favre. Needs a big play right here. Needs 12, 13 yards. Man in motion to the near side is Andre Rison. Back goes Brett to throw. He's got a lot of time. Fires the ball upfield. There is Chimera for the first down at the 30 to the 35. Big kid reaches up and grabs the ball and drags Mobley to the 35-yard line.
Oh, what a pattern, too, Jim. That was just perfect execution. Brett Favre had plenty of time, and when you give Chimera that much time, he'll find a hole down there. Big play.
I think the key, Larry, is to give these guys a couple of weeks off.
Well, it goes to show just how much you miss when one of your front-line players is out of the game.
Well, and then you sit here and say, boy, if Brooks were here, what, you know, the offensive power would be amazing. All right, first down at the 35. for the Packers in their own territory, and a big play right there. Here's Brett Favre on a delay. Runs to the right. Fly pattern down here to Freeman. Freeman, and the ball hangs up and incomplete. Tried to catch the ball over Ray Crockett's head. The ball hung up just a little bit too much, Max. I don't know if the wind played with it or not, but it hung it up, and Freeman had a half a step and had to slow up and try to catch the ball over Crockett's head. Couldn't do it.
That's right. Both he ran a good pattern, and the defender played it quite well.
Yeah.
That was definitely just a matchup of two good players right there.
Ball a little underthrown, huh?
Yeah, Crockett is down. I think the wind played a little bit with it, Larry. Although it's a crosswind, I think it kind of knocked the ball down a little bit.
I'll say one thing. Since they enclosed the whole stadium, the windiest spot is down on the playing surface.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. Back after this. This is the Packer Radio Network.
You know, people are always talking about Clyde.
A big play in the drive.
Well, and that's big play offense is really what the West Coast offense is all about, Jim, and that's what propels the Packers is a big play here and there.
2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line for Green Bay. It looks like Atwater wants to blitz. Here is the quick pass over the middle, incomplete, intended for Freeman, thrown a little low by Brett Favre. They were trying to blitz. Were they drawn off, or did the Packers have them jump off? We'll wait and see. Another conference. Now Gary Lane says it is offsides. The Denver Broncos. That'll move it out to the 40, make it a 2nd down and 5 yards to go.
Part of the up and down nature of the Packers' offensive performance is the Denver Broncos. They're the 3rd-ranked team in the league defensively, so that kind of team is going to make you look bad, but at the same time, Packers' good offensive team, they're going to take advantage of it.
Larry and Max, take a look. The food people are here.
All right.
That have put on 15 pounds on every one of us this year.
I figured out the other day I've eaten 17,000 bratwurst up here.
2nd down and 5. These are the ladies who helped to feed all the members of the media before and during halftime of the game. Here's Brett. Quick drop. Now a slant pattern. Almost picked off, but caught. Holy cow. Atwater apparently had that ball measured, but the ball got through, and Antonio Freeman caught it for a 1st down at the 49, and I don't know how Atwater didn't score a touchdown.
I think he was thrown so hard that he put his hand up there and it knocked it off.
Agree 100%. Atwater didn't intercept it because Brett Favre throws tracers.
You know what? Atwater went right through the ball and looked down to see where in the world it was, and it wasn't there.
He had a scorched hand, and Antonio had the ball.
Heard it whistle by.
That's an amazing throw. 1st down at the 49-yard line. The Packers still in their own territory. Chimera steps into the backfield now and comes in motion to this near side of the field.
Here they come.
1st down. Quick slant pattern. Thrown a little bit behind Freeman. Freeman dragging away. Still on his feet. Could go. He's at the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Antonio Freeman. And a lot of it, an individual effort by Antonio Freeman on the throw by Brett Favre.
He got a big assist downfield from Keith Jackson. The touchdown block by Keith Jackson helping him out.
I'll tell you what a play that was. That was all done by the receiver. Just a little slant pass. The first guy missed him, and he ran over a couple and got a big touchdown for the Packers.
In fact, he was trying to pull that leg loose, and it wouldn't come loose. That's a 51-yard touchdown pass by the Packers. And it goes with 8:48 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. McGee's already getting his picture taken. We're still broadcasting the game. Try for extra point.
He's got special affection for the food ladies.
It is a 19-6 ball game, and the try for extra point by Chris Jackie coming up. We'll be with you in a moment. Hang on in there. Oh, it's fun when you're scoring, folks. Believe me. Here's the ball down, and the kick is on the way. The kick is up, through, and good. 20-6 ball game. Timeout. Back after this word on the Packer Radio Network.
Thinking about building or remodeling? Now is a great time to visit your Pella window store. Get a close look at the exclusive features and options that set Pella windows and doors apart, such as slim shade blinds between the glass and
2-6. Here's the kickoff by Hendrick. Hendrick with a high floater that Hebron takes at the 5, fumbles it a little bit, picks it up at the 10, to the 15, through a hole to about the 20, and going to be brought down at about the 22-yard line. Today's game brought to you by Super America, the proud sponsors of the Super America Super Kickoff Contest, where you can win $6,200. 8:38 remaining. Let's take 10 seconds for station identification here in the 3rd quarter. This is the Packer Radio Network.
For Cumberland, Hayward, and all of Wisconsin's great Northwest, this is AM 1240 and 96.3 FM WJMC, Rice Lake, Spooner.
We saw Antonio Freeman go into the locker room. It looked like a repair to the patch on his arm more than anything. It didn't appear to be any kind of an injury.
We got noise at Lambeau.
Yeah, we do. 1st down at the 25-yard line for the Denver Broncos. McCaffrey in motion to the right. Here's Musgrave back to throw and got some time. Now dances around and threw it away. Now there was a case where I don't know whether there was coverage downfield, but he was locked in on a receiver, Max, or rather Larry, and when that receiver didn't come open, he stayed with it.
That's an inexperienced quarterback. I mean, you can remember early in Brett Favre's career, he locked in on one guy. Now he scans the field. Musgrave not at that point yet, certainly.
Well, you got Musgrave, Max, right where you want him, down 2 touchdowns, and with still a long way to go in the ballgame, but he's behind in a game.
Yeah, and he's just not the guy that's going to come bring you out of a hole either. He's, as you say, he's only looking at one receiver.
Anthony Miller, rather, is split off wide to the left this time on second down, and back goes Musgrave, and here comes Jones, and he threw it away again. He intended it for Aaron Craver, but Jones made him throw it early.
Like we said early in the game, Jones playing against Jamie Brown, a young guy, doesn't start very often, just starting in place of Gary Zimmerman. Jones should win that battle, and he did.
Third down for the Denver Broncos at the 25-yard line. And Bill Musgrave now has a difficult problem. Musgrave is 10 out of 19 in throwing today. I don't think he's hit any in the last 7 that he's thrown.
This is fun time for the defensive lineman as well. Pin your ears back and rush the passer.
All right, here is Musgrave on 3rd and 10 at the 25-yard line. And the Denver Broncos looking all around, the center making the call, and here goes Musgrave, and here they come. And Musgrave stepping up, fires it up over the middle, and incomplete, almost picked off. Leroy Butler, no, beg your pardon, that's Pryor, isn't it? It's Mike Pryor at the 48-yard line, had the ball in his hands, diving for it, couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, he knows he should have had that one, but they're going to get a punt anyway, so it wouldn't have made that much difference.
The pressure caused by Keith McKenzie, who's lined up across from the center, and Wayne Simmons twisting. Wayne Simmons blitzing on the play. Nice pressure on Musgrave.
That's far and away the worst series for Musgrave in the ballgame right there.
Well, being 2 touchdowns down could do that to a guy.
All right, back to do the kicking is Tom Ruins. 8:23 to go. They didn't have it very long. Here is the kick. And this is a low kick. Desmond Howard comes up at the 40 on the run to the 48-yard line. Good job by Desmond Howard on a difficult ball to catch. And he catches it and brings it to the 48-yard line where the Packers will take over with excellent field position. Gary Lane, interesting thing about this ballgame. Mike Holmgren said after last week's game that the coaches voted a game ball and gave it to Dorsey Levens. And Antonio Freeman took a lot of flack from his teammates because he didn't win one. And Holmgren said, I told him, well, you better go out and win one this week. And he might be winning one this week.
Well, I tell you, he's made some great catches, and he's really been the difference in this ballgame, I think.
He has 8, including 2 for touchdowns. 18 in the last 2 ball games. Here's the handoff. Bennett trying to get the corner at the 50-yard line and is dragged out of bounds after a gain of about a yard. Edgar's having real trouble getting to that corner so he can turn it up and sprint down the field, and Denver just pinned him to the sidelines that time after a gain of about 2 yards. It'll be second down and 8 yards to go with the clock at 7:55 to go in the third quarter, and the Packers up by 2 touchdowns.
Denver's pursuit from the inside having a lot to do with that problem. They just get a lot of folks out there, and those holes close quickly.
They're a good football team. You have to work so hard, and I think that's the one aspect you like about the Packer team. They're willing to do the hard work. So it's going to be second down and 8 at the 50-yard line, right on the 50-yard line. Oh, Denver jumped again. Back goes Brett Favre to throw. He's got a free play down here to Andre Rison. Out of bounds. That ball thrown over to the right side. Denver jumped offside. Now, did they get drawn off or did they jump?
I think they jumped.
Well, the official, the lineman said it's against Denver on the play. The Packers have a tremendous window of opportunity in this game, obviously, and Verhalen Incorporated, your Pello window store, has a tremendous selection of windows for any window project.
What
Pello Windows, a window for every home and a price for every pocketbook. Now you see why I get the big bucks, don't you?
I understand it.
Pello Windows, I'll tell you.
It's just a pleasure to sit here in your shadow, oh, great one.
Second down and about 3 yards to go for the Packers. So, and Brett Favre did a good job of taking advantage of trying to get a free play. Couldn't get it to connect, but he had it going. Here's Brett on second down, dancing around over the middle. Drop by Keith Jackson, but Keith had to spin around. It was you're right. He had to spin around and try to catch the ball. Had he been able to catch it in stride, that was a big gainer.
Once again, play action's getting it started. The play action draws in, fools John Mobley, and he's nowhere near Keith Jackson at the time of the throw.
So it's third down. Keith wanted to get involved in as much as Huey has had so far today. Let's see how many catches for Keith. He has 2 for 19, and Chimura has 3 for 63. That's 5 catches by the tight end position. Rison to the left, Mickens to the right for the Packers. Freeman's not in there at the moment. Here is Brett Favre waiting for the snap from center as Rison goes in motion. Brett straight back in the pocket. Now he steps up. He can run if he wants to. Now he runs the wrong way. Now he comes back to the right. Now he throws the football. Overshot his intended receiver. He had Keith Jackson at the 25. He had a number of opportunities there, Max. He could easily have run had he gone straight up the field.
I know. That looked like Fran Tarkington or not.
It did.
He really did.
Oh, it
that
did.
reminded me of Fran Tarkington right there.
You're absolutely right. That's the way Fran Tarkington played it right there. And the Packers had a big opportunity, and he just overshot. This is not Brett's most impressive game. It's a good game, but far from being very impressive.
I'll tell you, though, he can make things happen.
Oh, yeah. He thought he had one there, and he knows it. He's just a little upset with himself. He had Jackson down in the open. Here's Hendrick, only his second punt of the day. Hendrick hangs this one up, but it's kind of a wobbler. And a fair catch call. Oh, he called fair catch. And Smith is brought down at the 18-yard line. My goodness.
No,
Rod Smith had his hand up in the air, though.
He didn't get it above his shoulder, though, Jim. It must be above your shoulder.
Then that's intended to...
At least Holmgren agrees with you because he was pretty upset. The rules clearly say you must have your hand above your head. Well, he got it about straight out. That's exactly. He did like that and pulled it back. Now, you could call that either way, I suppose.
But he's not allowed in that situation to deceive the defender coming down. He either calls fair catch or he doesn't.
Intent to deceive.
Yes.
That ought to be a penalty in itself.
First down at the 18, and the crowd is alive here, trying to help out the Green Bay Packers, who lead 20-6 in the third quarter. Man in motion to the outside is Aaron Craven. Back to pass goes Wes Craven. Blitz. Down he goes. And that's Leroy Butler through the sack for McIntyre to the mat.
Great call by Fritz Trimmer. That time, the Broncos lined up with one back in the backfield. He goes in motion. Leroy Butler blitzes. There ain't nobody to pick him up.
You know what? And I think what's happened here is I think we may have seen the last of the running game of Davis. Davis has 11 carries, 34 yards. He was split out wide to the left that time. Now it becomes a second down and 15.
Am I mistaken, or is Butler the leading sacker on the team?
He may have taken it. Yeah, I think you're right. All right, second down and 15 yards to go. Loss of 5 on that sack by the Packers. Here is Musgrave on the pitch back to Davis and a whistle, and it blows. And the only reason you stop a play like that is two reasons. Either the defender makes contact offside, or it's illegal procedure on the part of the offense.
That's against
and
the
I
offense.
think it's against the Denver Broncos.
Max Butler was tied for the team lead with 5.5. Now he has 6.5.
Yeah,
he does lead the team.
He just took the lead. I wonder how often a safety man leads in sacks.
This is a good time to break for the great taste of Bud Light. It's a big hit with fans everywhere because it won't fill you up, never let you down. So make it a Bud Light. I'll tell you what, this is a great crowd here today. That's 8 penalties against Denver for 50 yards. It's second down and 20 for Denver back at their own 8-yard line. Bill Musgrave waits for the snap from center, has a man McCaffrey in motion to the near side. Musgrave, short drop, quick pattern, pumps. Now wants to pump and go downfield and overshot his intended receiver. McCaffrey never really got that hard off the line of scrimmage, and he was pretty well covered by Mike Pryor.
They're not even close to being on the same page, Jim. That was just, it was a kind of a hook and go, but the quarterback was off and so was the receiver.
I wouldn't want John Elway playing in this kind of a situation, but you play with who you have in uniform and can play.
Well, good teams are supposed to be able to play no matter who, you know, with 2 injuries. And I'll tell you, everybody's played hard on Denver. They just can't move the ball with this quarterback.
The Broncos could beat a lot of teams minus John Elway. Green Bay is awful good in their own right.
All right, it's third down and 20, and the crowd, listen to this roar by this crowd. Third down for Bill Musgrave. He sends a man in motion. He never went. Back goes Musgrave to throw. Comes up over the middle. It is caught by Sherrard, drilled at about the 12-yard line. And the ball comes loose, but they're going to rule the play dead at the 11-yard line.
Leroy Butler is playing some kind of game. Tyrone Williams had the ball carrier held up. Butler put a lick on him.
I'll tell you what, the Packer defense here in this third quarter, I don't think Denver has a first down yet. So it's fourth down Denver. That play, and they gave him the underneath catch, went for about 6 yards. And then a good play by Ty Williams to stop it.
I agree with Larry. When you're not full strength trying to play against this Packer defense, you've got a lot of problems, and they've seen exactly that today.
5:34 to go in the quarter. I'm sorry.
You get them down a couple touchdowns. The Packer defense smells blood, too. Go after the passer. It's fun.
Here's a low kick. Howard, it bounces on him. He couldn't get to it. It's going to bounce right at the 50-yard line, and the Packers will take over there.
Good
right at the 50-yard line, the Packers again have good field position on the play. Today's game brought to you by Aaron's Outdoor Power Equipment. And right on a first down at midfield for the Packers. 5:21 to go in the third quarter, a 20-6 ball game. Here's Brett Favre. First play, rolls to the right, fires the ball upfield. Deflected. Oh, he intended it for Freeman, who had slipped to the turf, but the linebacker Mobley came over and got a hand on it. That, again, wasn't a well-thrown ball by Brett Favre.
You know, I just got a feeling that Coach Holmgren would like to get another quick touchdown on the board and maybe rest his own guys, you know, like Brett Favre and some of the guys. And I think that's what he would do if he could get one right here.
Well, he's got to, you know, he's playing for so much, and Denver obviously has a lot in their grasp right at the moment already, and the Packers are trying to get in the enviable position that the Denver Broncos are in right at the moment. So it is going to be 2nd down and 10 at the 50-yard line. 20-6 ball game. Far from being over, folks. We don't mean to imply that to you. Here's Brett on the handoff up the middle. And it is Dorsey Levens who breaks a tackle or two and comes down to about the 41-yard line, about a half yard shy of the first down.
One of the Packers' pet plays, little inside trap with Aaron Taylor doing the trap blocking. Great job by him, and a great job by Adam Timmerman sustaining his block on the middle linebacker.
And Adam is limping pretty bad. I don't know if he's not coming out of the game.
He's an offensive lineman, man. He got to play out there.
You got to keep playing. I agree with you.
Today's game brought to you by Aaron's Outdoor Power Equipment and your local Aaron's dealer. Aaron's the best from start to finish. 4:44 to go. You need a first down here. 3rd down at about a half a yard for the Packers. This is an important stage of the ball game. Here's Brett on the quarterback sneak. First down, 2 yards. Brett Favre, boy, there was a great surge, Larry, by the offensive line, especially Frank Winters right in front of him.
Frankie, Adam, Aaron Taylor, all staying low. Low man wins in those kind of situations. All of them did that.
By the way, would you mind telling them I said nice things about the offensive line?
No.
Oh, okay. Offensive lineman. You know what happens with the Denver Broncos? Their offensive linemen will not speak to the media. They have made it among themselves a little game that they play, and the first guy who speaks to the media and is quoted or has his comments in a television or radio is fined by his teammates.
Most of the media don't want to talk to the linemen anyway.
First down at the 39. Here's Brett on the inside handoff to Dorsey Levens, and Levens across the 35 to the 33. And you know what the Packers are trying to do right now? Just what they did to Chicago in the fourth quarter last week, trying to control the ball on the ground.
And they're doing it, and Dorsey Levens, in my opinion, is making a bid to be their top running back. I've always thought he was, but I think he's, in the last 2 weeks,
gain of about 7 on the play.
Dorsey doing that strictly on his own because the play was designed to go off right tackle. Aaron Taylor pulling out there, but had no one to block as Dorsey cut it up inside, and he used that good size he has to bull his way for, where was it?
I'm not sure what's going on down here. Is it Brett? What's happened to Brett?
He's helping the referee.
Oh, it's the referee. Oh, gosh. Well, I don't want the referee to be hurt either. Mind you, I don't intend to say that.
But if push came to shove, who do we want to be hurt?
That referee doesn't play quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Who is the referee? That's John Bible. And you know what? I talked with all of these guys in the Packer locker room today. They're such a nice group of people. Al Conway is a University of Missouri graduate, and so is Gary Lane. And
the ref went nose to nose with Dorsey and came out on the losing end.
It looks like he may have a little cut, and they're bringing him over here to the sidelines to take a look at that.
Little cut. He lost his left ear.
Target is the proud sponsor of the Packer Radio Network. Be sure to drop off your film at Target's Photo Center for Kodak Premium.
The ref was his target.
Back the next day, or they're free 7 days a week. Target. Expect more, pay less. He's going to stand over there and come to the sidelines. They got to do a little stitching.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I think they got to do a little stitching. 2nd down and about 4 yards to go. 3:39 remaining in the third quarter. 20-6 the Packers, who were down inside the Denver 35-yard line. Here's Brett Favre waiting for the snap. Denver moves up a little on the line of scrimmage on the corner, and the Packers had 2 guys on the right. There was no real coordination on that call there by anybody.
Really getting off the ball right there.
Well, you know, when 2 guys go, then I don't blame the offensive lineman. I blame maybe the quarterback and the cadence a little bit.
Well, I think Brett audibled, and sometimes after an audible, you switch to another number, and I think both of them blew it.
Of course, I could say that the other 3 guys didn't pick up on anything. So
Larry, did they still, when we audibled the way back then, it always was on 2. Do they have the same deal?
I think they switched to a regular number. Some teams will go to the same number.
Well, that's what I mean. Instead of going on the number you started with, though, you go back to on 2 or 1 or 3.
Now it's 2nd and 8. This is kind of like that one drive in the first half for the Packers. Here's the ball handed off to Dorsey Levens. Drives inside the 30 to the 29. Close to a first down straight up the middle again.
The Packers gash in the #1 run defense in the entire NFL right now, thanks to some fine blocking and hard running. Earl Dotson, Adam Timmerman, both doing good jobs right there.
Darcy Levens is averaging over 7 yards a carry today after averaging about 12 yards a carry last week. He's waking up.
Third and short yardage at the 30-yard line with 2:46 remaining here in the third quarter of the game. A 20-6 lead for the Green Bay Packers.
Dorsey may be the most natural runner they have on the roster.
Here's the single running back in Dorsey Levens. The handoff goes to Dorsey. He got the first down, diving forward to the 27-yard line. Straight ahead, and the surge by the offensive line is terrific.
But an example right there now was bottled up right at the point of attack. Dorsey almost effortlessly glides it to the outside and picks up the necessary yardage.
Well, Dean Foods has been providing Packer fans with quality dairy and ice cream products for over 70 years. Dean's Milk and Ice Cream. You can taste how much we care. Well, the ball's down to the 26-yard line, first down. What the Packers have done in this third quarter is dominate the football. Denver has had about 6 plays.
Total domination here. They just driving that ball up and down the field, and Denver gets it. It's 3 and out of there.
First down at the 26-yard line for Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers. Here's Brett up under, and the handoff. This time it goes to the right side. Levens lost his footing. Gets it back to the 20, to the 15, and out of bounds. He was stumbling at about the line of scrimmage, but he got that left foot under him, and that pushed him off. And it gets to the 15.
Pure strength right there, Jim. I mean, great pair of legs, and that's what Dorsey Levens has, is a great pair of legs.
This is what you got to love. Here comes William Henderson out on the field. He and Dorsey Levens vie for a position, and Henderson's the first guy to throw an arm around him and congratulate.
That's the team attitude the Packers have top to bottom. It's a great job by Mike Holmgren instilling that. Not every team has it, I can assure you.
First down at the 15-yard line of the Denver Broncos with 1:12 remaining here in the third quarter. Freeman is over to the left side.
Another point about team. Andre Rison's blocking downfield. I don't think he's done that before.
In his career. First down. Here's the handoff on a delayed. Edgar Bennett. He goes down to the 11-yard line, maybe the 10, for a gain of about 5 yards. Edgar Bennett on a straight-ahead charge, and they found a little vulnerable hole there in the middle, and they just keep going right at it.
Oh, boy, no use changing either because they're controlling the ball. This quarter's about over.
And this is when the opponent feels beaten. When you take that ball and stick it down their throat, they feel like they're getting beat.
Today's game brought to you by Simplicity. Simplicity dealers are the only place you can buy Simplicity's top-performing lawn and garden equipment, and where you can register to win a Packer Backer tractor. Second down and 6. The ball at the 11-yard line with 28 seconds to go here in the quarter. Here's Brett to the line of scrimmage. Edgar Bennett, the lone running back. Brett with a pattern looks, now dances to the right, in trouble. Fires upfield, is caught at the 5. And a first and goal, I believe, at about the 4-yard line. Is that Chimura? I think it's Chewy who caught the ball. Brett dancing around a little to the right, and Chimura found a hole, and Chimura never gives up on the play. You notice that? And Chimura gets a first down for the Packers at the 4-yard line at the end of 3 quarters. Back after this on a Packer Radio Network.
It's a doggone celebration at McDonald's for Disney's new 101 Dalmatians movie, now in theaters.
Out that old red Parker and get yourself some green and gold.
The Packer Pro Shop. It's where the pros shop. Call for a free catalog.
We go to the fourth quarter. Time for Milwaukee Pickles Packers crunch time. When it's crunch time at your house, remember Milwaukee Pickles. They're Wisconsin's hometown favorite. They have a delicious crunch that you'll enjoy. Milwaukee's Pickles. The biggest little pickles in Wisconsin. Available at your favorite grocers in Wisconsin. Available at Century Super Saver. All right, here we go. First and goal at the 4-yard line for the Green Bay Packers. Brett Favre, and the Packers have powered it down to this point so far. Here's Brett from the 4-yard line. The handoff up the middle. William Henderson down to about the 1. Again, they go straight up the middle to about the 1-yard line.
Great job by Frankie Winters and Adam Timmerman doing what's called a wedge block, taking that defensive lineman and wedging him out of there.
By the way, Joyce Van Buren of Waukesha, Wisconsin, our Bud Packer payoff contestant here in the fourth quarter. Joyce, hope we can get you something. Second and goal. The ball at the 1-yard line for the Packers, who lead 20-6. Freeman comes out. They go with power plays up front. Packers are leading by 2 touchdowns. And we are now in the fourth quarter of the game. Henderson and Levens in the backfield for the Packers. Here's Brett Favre up under. Brett fakes a handoff. Now fakes a reverse. Now runs. Now pumps. Now throws. Touchdown! End zone, Keith Jackson. Wow. And that was a play that was improvised because they had something in mind, and Jackson scores the touchdown.
Oh, did I love to see that Brett Favre. When he sees a guy, it takes 1/10 of a second. He has let that ball go right on target. That is about as pretty as anything you'll ever see.
That was option number 3. He was looking for Dorsey over in the flat. He was looking for Tamura on the right side, number 2. And the last receiver, Keith Jackson, coming from way on the other side, and Brett found him.
Well, nobody can cock an arm and get rid of it any quicker than Brett Favre.
All right, the try for extra point by Chris Jackie. And another touchdown for Keith Jackson. That's his 9th of the year. The extra point is good. 27-6. Timeout. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
Freshness hotline, what's the problem?
You're going to think I'm making this up?
Receptions, and last year he threw 38 during the regular season, so he's within 4 of that.
Amazing. I read an article during the week. Somebody asked Brett about whether he thought he was having a VIP year, you know, or
right, MVP.
MVP, yeah, that's
well,
right.
VIP's okay too.
An MVP year, and he said, well, let the numbers speak for themselves, and I think they speak pretty loud.
Yeah, they do. There's no question. All right, the kickoff by Craig Hendrick this time to do the kicking for the Packers. Here it is, and a high floater that Von Hebron will take it about the 7-yard line. Comes up the middle to the 10, to the right, still trying to find a hole. Stuck hard by the Packers.
Bernardo Harris.
Down the 23-yard line. Bernardo stuck him, and he didn't go anywhere.
Nothing unusual for Bernardo. He's our leading special teams tackler.
Today's game brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm, an official broadcast sponsor of the Packers Radio Network. So the Packers are having a good time at 27-6 on the Denver Broncos.
The Packer defense has held the #1 offense in the league to 116 yards over 3 quarters. I don't care if Jim Palm was playing quarterback. That's a pretty good effort.
Watch him. Jim he'd have been dead by now. I'm sorry. First down at the 22-yard line. The Denver Broncos make it to 23. Here's the ride and the handoff, and this goes to Terrell Davis. Broke 1 tackle, but he only gets out to about the 25-yard line. A gain of about 3.5 yards before he's dropped on the play. And Denver, you know, they know what their limitations are right at the moment, and they are not trying to do anything spectacular, to tell you the truth.
And we're kind of we're putting a damper on that average per carry that Terrell had coming in here, because he's carried 12 times for 38 yards only.
Both him and Shannon Sharp been kept under wraps pretty darn well.
Second down for the Denver Broncos. And the ball resting at the 26-yard line. And in motion to the near side is McCaffrey for Denver. And here is a play-action fake. Musgrave, I think the right guard pulled before the play even got underway. So Denver is trying to get a little anxious at the moment.
There's been more offsides today, I think, than any game I've seen on both sides. I bet if you add up the offsides today, it's nearing some record.
On the Broncos side of the ball, you could attribute that to Bill Musgrave, new cadence for the Broncos.
Right.
Packers, I don't know.
Well, defensively, I think also it's you know, you're either one of two things. You're not quite up and ready to go, or you're too up and ready to go. How about that? How about that for being definitive?
And a coach will buy neither one of those arguments.
Of course he won't. 255 yardage for Brett Favre today with his 3 touchdown passes. Second down at about 11 for the Denver Broncos. And here's the ride and the handoff. Davis broke the tackles this time and goes all the way to the 30 to nearly the 31, just short of the first down. Little left-right play that came up. He got good blocking on front and ran it well out to about the 30. Broke that first tackle.
Little surprising what the Packers are doing right now. Like they blitz free safety Eugene Robinson. You'd think with a 27-6 lead they might play it a little safer, but not the case.
Third down at about 1 yard for the Denver Broncos. Back at the 31. I don't think they have a first down here in the second half of the ball game yet. Musgrave waits underneath. And in motion, McCaffrey to the far side. Here's a play-action fake by Musgrave. Being chased, gets it out to McCaffrey for a first down. And Eugene Robinson drags him down by the neck at about the 39-yard line. But it is a first down, the first for Denver here in the second half of the game with 12:23 remaining. The Packers leading 27-6. Where are they going to put the ball down? They're going to put it down at about the 39-yard line for the first down. That was a nice little play-action fake. Good throw by Musgrave.
Yeah, that was a good-looking play there. And, of course, they needed one because they haven't been able to throw the ball very well against this Packer defense, and I don't think they're ever going to be able.
First down at the 39. Newsom gets up tight on the wide receiver out wide right this time. Waiting is Musgrave. Musgrave on the handoff to Davis. Tries to get the corner. Does. Breaks one tackle. Still on his feet. Finally brought down at about the 45 for a gain of 6. You know, even though the Packers have held him fairly well in check, you can still see the qualities that make him such a good running back.
I'll tell you, for 200 pounds, and he's a slasher, and he gets that hole and gets some yardage. He's a tough runner for 200 pounds.
Gain of about 5 on the play. Second down and 5. We got 3 footballs on the field. Somebody got to take a couple of those off. Now they did. All right. Second down, 5 yards to go. McCaffrey and Miller to the right. Shannon Sharp, he just hadn't been a featured receiver at all today. He is the tight end to the right side for Denver. On the second down play, a play action fake. Here they come. Musgrave gets away from somebody and dug out behind. Ball is loose, and the ball appears to be the Packers. At about the 35. Yes, sir, it is. Musgrave had the ball knocked free, and Reggie White comes up with it, and Sean Jones did the job that time.
Oh, boy, I tell you, great defensive play. And whoever from Denver that went after the ball, I think he got hurt down there. But they just took it away from him.
That might be Shannon.
Like we mentioned a couple plays ago, the Packers not sitting back and relaxing. They blitzed Brian Williams, and they blitzed Doug Evans, who made the big hit on Musgrave.
That's Shannon Sharp, who's hurt. He was trying to dive for the ball, and he's walking off under his own power. But he was hurt on the play. We're going to get a timeout on the field. We'll take a break. 27-6, the Packers. Back after this from your local station on the Packer Radio Network. Packers at the 35-yard line. And to be perfectly honest with you, the defense of the Packers has been awesome in this ballgame.
Magnificent. 134 yards. Number 1 offense in the league. Even with Jim Pond.
First down at the 35-yard line. Here's Brett Favre on a handoff. Dorsey tries to find the corner. He eludes one man. Gets to the 30 and drives out of bounds at about the 34 or the 29-yard line.
Well, he gets his average about 8 yards a carry. That's about what he's averaging.
He got a great block back here as he tried to make the corner, and I don't know who did it for him.
I'll tell you, one guy who had a great block on the play was John Michaels. That young rookie took the defensive end and pinned him right on his back. Excellent, sustained, total excellent effort by John Michaels.
27-6, the Packers have the lead in the ball game, and we're down to 10:50 remaining in the contest. Packers trying to clinch the Central Division this afternoon.
John Michaels isn't a real explosive guy in the running game, but he does a great job of staying with his guy, and that's important.
Boy, Brett got to play awfully late. They're just now breaking the huddle with 8 seconds to get it underway and a second down at about 3. Mike Holmgren took a long time in making up his mind. Brett looking at him all the time waiting. Here's the handoff to Dorsey Levens, and he drives forward to just short of the first down at about the 25-yard line.
Guys, the Packers are really looking like a football team when it comes to this running game. You can see the good teams as the year wears on, really explode off the football, and they're doing that right now.
Third down and a yard to go. William Henderson comes back into the lineup for the Packers, and Dorsey Levens is now at 82 yards on the day. So if he got it into the end zone from here on one run, that put him over 100. And when's the last time he did that?
When was the first time he did it?
This might be, if he could do that.
College.
Rison comes out of the lineup for the Packers on third down and short. Third and short at the 26-yard line in Denver territory. In motion comes Jeff Thomason. Here's the handoff and straight ahead drive by Dorsey. First down to about the 24-yard line.
Broncos blitzing Steve Atwater on the play, and Dorsey just runs right through him for the first down.
Jeff Thomason in on the short running play, gets a good block in. Our ball game today brought to you by State Farm Insurance and the State Farm agents throughout Wisconsin. For all your family insurance needs, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Well, it's the first down at the 24-yard line. What you really want to do is just keep the ball as long as you can.
Absolutely. Just grind it out.
Score doesn't mean a whole lot at this time because you're up 3 touchdowns.
Get ready to go into that dome over in Detroit next week.
Going to be a first down at the 24-yard line. Here's Brett. Play action. No, he does hand it off to Edgar Bennett. Tried to find the corner, and then he stopped and came back. And when he did, the young linebacker, John Mobley, he made the tackle and dropped him for a loss of a couple of yards on the play.
I think Edgar might have wanted to stay on Aaron Taylor's hip right there and just follow him to the sideline, then make a cut.
So it'll be second down and 12.
The Packers do not know how to run a sweep. They haven't run a sweep well, I don't think, this year. Maybe 1 or 2 out of the whole year that they really executed that sweep.
Second down for the Packers. Beebe comes in, and Edgar Bennett goes out for Green Bay. Packers are leading 27-6. Looking for an 11th win of the year against 3 losses. Trying to hand Denver only its 2nd loss against 12 wins. Here's the handoff to Levens, trying to get to the outside, still stretching it out. trying to get the corner and gets back to the 25, and that's about it for a gain of 2. Just couldn't get around that corner, and a good job by Denver to keep stretching the ball out until it gets to the sideline.
Exactly right. The Packers were actually trying to run inside with an inside trap. Couldn't get it done because of Denver pursuit.
Midwest Express Airlines wants to take this opportunity to salute AAA, their partner in trust. Midwest Express Airlines, the best care in the air, the official airline of the Green Bay Packer Radio Network. Third down and 10 yards to go for the Packers. Freeman to the right. Antonio with a total of 8 catches today, 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Here's Brett up under waiting. Sends a man in motion. Levins to the outside.
Oh, he
Brett's
turned up
back
too
in the
quick.
pocket. No flag. Brett's going to throw it up over the middle. Freeman. Touchdown. What a throw. What a throw and catch. 4th of the day. Brett Favre hits Freeman for his 3rd touchdown. And what a play.
And Freeman had the defender helpless. He had him between the ball and Freeman. He couldn't do a thing. Freeman catches it. I believe that's 3 for him today, isn't it?
It is 3, and you don't find people who can throw the ball that way.
No, actually, in a normal quarterback, the safety, Timmy Hawk in this case, could have been a factor, but with Brett's arm, he's no factor. The corner is all alone, and Freeman beats him easily.
Favre to Freeman, and it covers about 25 yards on the play. The try for the extra point by Chris Jackie, and the ball is down, and the kick is on the way, and the kick is good, and it becomes 34-6 with a timeout. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
Wow, 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 it's a doggone celebration at McDonald's for Disney's new 101 Dalmatians movie, now in theaters. There are 101 different Happy Meal toys, one with every Happy Meal you buy.
Wow, wow.
And you can...
2 weeks here, he's had 350 yards with 20 catches.
It's amazing. Here is the kickoff by Craig Henry. And Hebron again will take the ball at about the 4-yard line, comes back to his left, up to the 15, tries to get to the outside to the 20, does, cuts upfield. Flag, and he goes down at the 25-yard line. Flag is thrown about 25 yards away from any kind of a play, so that's probably somebody illegally blocking downfield. And we'll see what happens. So the Denver Broncos will take over. Musgrave has 1 first down here in the second half of the ballgame. Well, the voting's been tallied for the True Value NFL Man of the Year contest. Your Packer nominee is Mark Shimura. Watch for the winner Super Bowl weekend. True Value, the official hardware store of the National Football League. Well, that's going to cost him 10 yards and move the ball back. And they're going to put it down inside the 15-yard line for the Denver Broncos. 34-6 is the score in the ballgame. Let's see if Denver is going to stay with some of their players. I would suspect that Shannon Sharp is done for the day. Dwayne Carswell will come in at the tight end position, a 3rd-year player out of Liberty. And Hebron is going to stay in as the running back. He has 223 rushing yards so far this season. First down, Denver at the 15. Here's the handoff to Hebron. Tries to find a little hole and dives forward. Loose ball at about the 15. The ruling, it's the Packers football. Denver has turned it over again.
Wow.
And the Packers will get it at the 15-yard line.
Boy, will the people start talking tomorrow about, look what the Packers did to Denver. Same thing that happened to them in their Super Bowl.
That's Brian Williams. He didn't want to give up the ball. Brian Williams has come up with the loose ball. Hebron in his first carry has given it up. The Packers have the ball at the 15-yard line. That for Denver, how many turnovers today, Jim? Total of 4? 4 turnovers we have listed for Denver today.
Do you guys think this is the Packers' best game of the season?
I think it's close to their best game of the year. I don't think there's much doubt about that. All right, Freeman comes in late. And here comes Doug Peterson at quarterback. Doug Peterson takes over at quarterback. You demand to know, right?
Well, let's not wishy-washy around this thing.
I don't know. Ball's at the 15-yard line. 7:03 remaining.
Well, it obviously, according to the score, it seems to be one of their best games, but it's hard to judge it from the fact that Elway was not playing.
Here's the handoff, Travis Jervey from Doug Peterson. We haven't heard that much this year. And he gets 3 yards down to about the 12-yard line, coming off the left side to the right. And 6:54 remaining. What Denver would like to do right now is just get this game over with and get on the plane and go home.
Well, you hit it right on the head.
I think Denver was in a very unenviable position, not really knowing how to play the ballgame. And they tried to play it hard and play it well. And once they got behind with Bill Musgrave, they just simply had no chance to catch up. And that's why they trail 34-6.
Well, I think they knew what they wanted to do, couldn't get it done with Bill Musgrave playing. And I don't know if they could have got it done with John Elway.
And you're going to have to give credit to the Packer defensive unit. They've played awfully well all day long. It's going to be second down at about 7.
Oh,
Here's
Packers
Peterson
jump.
on a delay. Gives it off to Jervy, and Jervy is brought down at the line of scrimmage.
Adam Timmerman jumped. Did they miss that?
Yeah. If these guys want to get the game
the rest
over
want to go back to Denver, too.
It's cold down there on the field. And so it will be no gain on the play. It'll be third down. There was no cohesion to that play whatever between the quarterback, the running back, and the offensive line. Who else we got in there, Larry? We got
well, you know,
the offensive line stays the same. Yeah. Thomaston is the tight end, and Beebe one of the wide receivers.
Why do they never look at the offensive line and say, let's give these guys a break? It's always the backs, it's the quarterback, never the old line guys.
Was it just aren't enough of them to go around? And besides, we admire your play out there on the field. All right, we have Thomas in a slot on the right side. 2 wide receivers to the left for the Packers. Here's Peterson on the inside, handoff to Jervy. Left the ball to the end zone, and Denver, it's loose. Now, you can't score.
Packers
the Packers have got it for a touchdown.
Wow.
But I think the ball has to be recovered by Jervy. You go back and look at the rules. Jervy has to recover it in the end zone.
Then the ref signaling touchdown. He's got to get his arms down.
Well, let's see what they're going to rule. It's in the end zone, and the Packers have scored, but it was my understanding if it's fumbled in the end zone, the man who fumbled it has to go get it.
We're going to have to rethink this because Don Beebe just scored a touchdown.
Are you sure that's not the last 2 minutes of the game?
I don't know. Could be. You could be right there. There's no explanation. It's counted as a touchdown, so the Packers will take it, and it's a 40-6 ball game.
Well, that's definitely a rule.
When things go right, it's okay, right?
Well, it is something else. You look up at the scoreboard for what was a close game for a half, and now it's 41-6.
And the try for extra point is good, and we'll take a break. That might have been Hendrick who kicked that one. It was Hendrick, I think. We'll take a break. No, it's Chris Jackie. Beg your pardon. We'll take a break. Be back after this from your local station on the Packer Radio Network.
Freshness hotline, what's the problem?
Not a true value. You can't value the two teams when one team is way behind because they could be one touchdown different. And I think the Packers are definitely a better football team, but they're not probably 40 points better.
You know what happened there? Craig Hendrick tried to kick the ball off, and Lucy pulled the ball away from him. Lucy just pulled the ball away. Remember the Peanuts cartoon?
No.
Yeah? Oh, sorry. I thought that was pretty funny right there, to tell you the truth. What happened as they approached the ball fell off the tee.
Keep them coming.
Peanuts would try to kick the ball, see, and Lucy would.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Must have been absent from school that day.
You guys.
No, I remember that.
The Denver Bronco broadcaster never had this trouble. Here is the kickoff, held this time in a line drive. Hit deep all the way into the end zone. Hebron coming out of the end zone and comes to the 10, to the 15, and to the 18, and down he goes. That's Bernardo Harris on top, but down underneath somebody made the first contact for the Packers. And who was that? It was McKenzie who made the first contact. The big guy got down there quickly, and the ball rests at the 19-yard line for Denver. Well, quality, great selection, and the lowest overall prices are the reasons you should make Roundy's Pick and Save your one and only food store. For the best overall value, shop at Roundy's Pick and Save. When it comes to price, they're still talking low.
Get ready for Jeff Lewis at quarterback. I know you've heard a lot about him.
Here is Jeff Lewis, who is in for the first time, a rookie out of northern Arizona. Lewis on the handoff, and through a hole goes Hebron to about the 21-yard line. The Packers have McKenzie at the left tackle, or the left end. One of the tackles is Darius Holland. Gabe Wilkins is at the right end for Green Bay. Eugene Robinson and Mike Pryor are in the backfield. The cornerback remains Craig Newsom, and on the far side, it's Tyrone Williams. And the linebackers, let's see, we got Bernardo Harris at one of the linebacker positions, and also in at linebacker for the Packers is Lamont Hollenquist. So we got a lot of different people in for Green Bay.
Lewis attempts to pass. It'll be his first all season.
Second down and 8 yards to go for Jeff Lewis. Lewis on a play-action fake, rolls to the left. Now wants to run the ball. Does. Upfield and dives to the 25 for a gain of about 3 yards. I don't think he had any intention of throwing it anywhere.
No, he decided to run it. But this is actually the first time he's ever appeared in an NFL game. So he's had 2 plays experience right now.
I think he was looking for Mike Sherrard, and Tyrone Williams was all over him downfield.
6'2", 217-pound rookie out of northern Arizona. Third down, Denver. Denver with 141 total yards at this stage of the game.
That's an incredible defensive performance.
It really is. Santana Dotson moves over to the right side there, ready to go on third down. and short for Denver, about 4 yards. And Lewis is going to throw it. Lewis backing up, now throws it over the middle, caught by Hebron. And I believe he's got a first down at the 30-yard line. Juan Hebron with a nice pass by Lewis. Lewis was looking, but he stayed with the play, Max, until he found somebody.
Yeah, it's been a long time since Denver had a first down.
3:40 remaining.
Wonder if John Elway's feeling very needed today.
I think it would be time to go into the office tomorrow and renegotiate my contract.
Well, you know, it's always strange when you got a team that's got a tremendous record. It comes in and you just kind of totally take the winds out of their sails.
The first down at the 30-yard line for Denver. In motion goes Hebron to the outside. Here is the pitch, and Hebron tries to cut the corner and does. Then drives across the 35 to about the 37-yard line, swinging to the left and then diving upfield. And he is tackled on the play by Bernardo Harris and brought down at about the 37-yard line. So it'll be a second down and 3. You're just willing to let them run as much clock as they want to, and they want to get out of the ball game as well. The Packers will have clinched the Central Division. They already had a playoff spot coming. The next thing to clinch is that week off, and then what remains is home field advantage. So it is going to be a second down and about 3 yards to go for the Denver Broncos. It's at the 36-yard line officially. Here's Lewis. Lewis on the inside handoff, and Hebron with a quick hole gets to the 40 and maybe close to the first down. Juan Hebron to about the 40-yard line.
They're going to have to measure it because it's within a couple inches one way or the other.
Well, let's see. If they put it down and it touches the line, that might give them a little bit. You know, it's just short of the line over here. I think he's got a first down, and that's what Gary Lane says. And the ball is put down at the 40-yard line, and Denver may let the 2-minute warning expire right here. They come to the line of scrimmage with 7 seconds remaining. Second rushing first down of the day for Denver. All right, they let the clock run out. 2-minute warning. We'll take a break. It is 41-6, the Packers. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
Be less than our best today, but they were ready to play, and they were at their best.
You know, that touchdown in that they got the ball with 51 seconds and scored in 34. That was the key to the ball game. Turned everything around in favor of the Packers. Well, if you depend on your car to perform, depend on 76 gasolines to keep it a performance car. First down at the 40-yard line for the Denver Broncos. Packers are leading 41-6. Hebron goes in motion to the... No, it's not Hebron on the outside motion. Lewis wants to throw it. He dances around. Look, still dancing. Now he's running. Oh, watch out, buddy. He goes down. Now he fumbles it forward. It is picked up, and that's a shoveled pass forward. They got to rule out an incomplete pass, I would assume.
Yeah, they have to. Either that or they're going to rule him down. But
let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Packer Radio Network.
For Cumberland, Hayward, and all of Wisconsin's great Northwest, this is AM 1240 and 96.3 FM WJMC, Rice Lake, Spooner.
You know what? Jeff Lewis looked like a deer in somebody's headlights, didn't he? Trying to get away on that particular play. He finally shuffled the ball forward, and they ruled out a forward pass and actually saved him about 6 yards and a sack. So it's second down and 10 at the 40-yard line. We have Smith in at one of the running backs. This handoff is to Juan Hebron through a hole on his feet and diving forward to about the 48-yard line with 1:32 remaining in the game. Juan Hebron getting some yardage here late in the ball game for the Denver Broncos. And I think that's the way he's gotten most of his yardage this season. By the way, you need to start thinking about the most valuable player or player of the game or whatever you want to call it for this contest.
Well, if we didn't do Freeman last week.
No, we did do Freeman last week. We were brighter than the coaches on picking the selection.
Well, how about Levens?
It's third down and about a yard. How about Leroy Butler?
Yeah, Leroy had a great
third down and about 2 for Denver. Smith goes in motion to the left. The pitch goes to Hebron trying to find the corner, and he gets the first down and goes down at about the Packer 47-yard line. All this is doing is giving Denver a few more yards on their scoreboard.
Impressive victory here today.
Now, do we eliminate Antonio just because he won last week?
No, not at all.
Is this like a grade school athletic banquet?
But
Johnny wins MVP.
I would bring to your attention that Brett Favre wasn't exactly toast here today.
No.
He threw 2 interceptions, though.
Yeah, but he threw 4 touchdown passes, though. I like that ratio.
Yeah, I agree.
The clock is running with 30 seconds to go, and Denver's not in any rush. This could be the last play of the game. Denver kind of glad to get out of here. 41-6, the score of the contest. And the Packers are Central Division champions. Leroy Butler giving Mike Holmgren a handshake. Here's Lewis. He wants to throw it. Now dumps it up over the middle. Incomplete. We'll get one more play with 11 seconds remaining.
You know, the Packers really played this game physically. A lot of good hitting out there today by Green Bay.
You know, during the game, every Packer fan knows the best lineup is on the field. But after the game, the best lineup is at McDonald's. With starters like the quarter pounder with cheese and reserves like crispy golden fries, the best tasting lineup in the game. And this half of Green Bay Packer football brought to you by your local Jeep and Eagle, Chrysler and Plymouth, and your friendly Dodge dealers. Why didn't Mike Shanahan just tell his quarterback to run a running play and get this thing over with? Here's the snap on a 2nd down and 10 from the 47. Jeff Lewis trying to get a little...
that's what he told him.
Well, he gave it to Hebron, and Hebron gets the 45, and the game will end right there. Packers are coming on the field.
There'll be a fight.
God, there won't. There's going to be some hugs and kisses here. And both of them will say to each other, hope to see you in January down in New Orleans. We'll take a 30-second local break and be back right after this on the Packer Radio Network.
Ring in the festive holiday season at DJ's Mart in Rice Lake. Pick up pizza.
New Orleans. We'll be back with more scores and highlights and more action. The final 41-6 Green Bay.
We'll see John Elway against Brett Favre, but until we see Bill Musgrave making his first career start in his 6-year NFL career. Well, good play fake early. That's a career-high 1 completion for Musgrave as he hit Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, and in between the 20s, it seemed like Musgrave got comfortable before he got to the red zone. Here, a nice out pattern to Anthony Miller. That would result in a field goal. And then Alfred Williams on the defensive side of the ball, tackling Dorsey Levens from behind. And then a nice play here by Lionel Washington, a play obviously he thought he should have made as an interception.
So, like the last few games, the Packers not doing much until late in the first half. But welcome back Mark Shimura. Look at Chewy chew up the yards. 29 yards. He caught 4 on the day. 23 seconds left in the half. Michael Dean Perry can't quite get far. Then he'll hit Antonio Freeman. Oh, my goodness. What a 2-game spree he's had. And a pack. Quiet most of the first half. All of a sudden open up a 10-point bulge. 13-3.
And what athleticism by Brett Favre right there. Stiff-arming Michael Dean Perry to buy himself a little more time to deliver the ball to Antonio Freeman.
4 for 4 on the drive was Favre. Third play now of the second half. Favre rolls out. Tyrone Braxton, one of the players who's had such a fine season for Denver, with his 8th interception of the season. And defensive coordinator Greg Robinson says, hey, we can get ourselves back in it. But, Tommy, that running game was not there today for Terrell Davis.
The run defense started to stiffen there. Terrell Davis to the right, but you can see the swarm of Packers and then to the left for about a half-yard gain.
He only had 54 yards. Now, 3rd and 12 from their own 11. Favre, this is his real bread-and-butter guy, Mark Shimura. Look at him take the hit. You can't stop Chewy. 24 yards. Then, Favre, Antonio Freeman, Torrey James. No, I don't think so. He could go all the way. Touchdown, focus, and click. Boom. And Greg Robinson says, wait, that was my camera. You can't do that. Packers defense, then they step in.
Yeah, Musgrave not nearly as mobile as a John Elway, and their Butler coming untouched for the sack.
4th quarter. Musgrave avoids Sean Jones, and Doug Evans blindsides him. Reggie White falls on it. Then John Elway looking on. Musgrave, well, get a feeling this might happen once the Packer machine got rolling. Favre, good protection this time. Nice pass to Antonio Freeman. His 3rd TD catch of the day. Favre's 4th throw of the day. 34-6, the route is on. Denver has fumbled. Travis Jervey hits a fumble. The Broncos. Don Beebe has it. Shannon Sharp, no muscle flexes today, but
I probably could have got more on the free market, but it's just a situation where I want to be here. The people have been nothing but cordial and great here. The fans are the best in the world, and I'm probably gonna move up here sooner or later, and I wanted to be a part of the community, a part of the state, and and a part of this tradition, and that had a lot to play with my decision, and I'm glad it's over.
You and I have talked off and on about this, and when at the house the other day, you didn't even want to really touch on it. What changed your tune? Did they get it done and then approach you, or did you become actively involved because you had said that you wanted to deal with this when the season was over?
Well, I think in some ways I lost some leverage because I think everybody knew that I wanted to be up here. A lot of the questions were asked, and it was obvious that, even stumbling around on some of the questions that you guys were asking, it was obvious that I wanted to be here. You know, it's kind of hard to leave a place that you feel as though the people appreciate you. And they appreciate what you contribute, not just on the football field, but in the community. When our church burned down, you know, people show me loyalty, and I'm a loyal person. If a person or people show me loyalty, I give it back. And I think one of the ways that I give my loyalty back to the Green Bay Packer fans and the people that helped us rebuild our church is by saying, look, I'm a Packer, I will retire as a Packer, and I will be honored to go in the Hall of Fame as a Packer.